Welcome to Bad Dice, the UK's first Warhammer Fantasy Battle podcast. We bring you news, reviews and updates from all around the UK tournament scene. Your hosts are Ben Curry and Ben Johnson. We hope you enjoy the show, and if you do, be sure to let us know. You can contact us on thebens@baddice.co.uk or leave a positive review on iTunes. Welcome to episode 44 of the Bad Dice podcast. I'm Ben Curry.
And I'm Ben Johnson.
And we're fresh back from the ETC. Been back just about a week now, haven't we?
Yep.
It's all had a bit of time to calm down, and you've even gone to a tournament, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've been to the club.
Yeah.
I'm not quite that keen. I've not played any Warhammer since the Sunday evening at the ETC. So
You shaking yet?
No, well, a little bit. I'm playing tomorrow night, okay. I'm going to get my fix. So before we get into our comings and goings over the last fortnight or so, we're going to give a quick shout out to all our sponsors. So who are we going to start with then, Ben?
Rankings HQ.
Yep. And what is Rankings HQ?
It's a big old Rankings HQ site.
Nice.
Compiles rankings for Warhammer, 40k, Flames of War, over the whole world, basically.
Yep. What else does it do?
Kind of like Facebook for geeks.
Yeah, you can go on there. You can log all your games, even friendly games played. You can log them on there. You can write articles. You can read articles written by other people. There's gaming clubs on there. There's all that sort of stuff. They've also got some tournament software which you can purchase.
Yes, Tournament Overlord
at a fairly decent rate, which does all your running of your tournaments for you, which is quite tasty. Check them out, rankingshq.com. And they've also got all the results from the ETC on there, including all the player versus player matches in both Warhammer and 40k.
I've had a quick squiz through some of them.
It's quite good, isn't it?
I do like my stats.
Yeah. Good fun looking at them all. I was quite intrigued to see them as they were going up. So, on to our next sponsors, Unseen Lurker. So, the Unseen Lurker guys, Bobo was out of the ETC.
I think played for New Zealand, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the next issue is going to have an ETC report in it, so keep an eye out for that one. You can check them out at unseenlurker.com, and it's Lurker with an E. For those that don't know what Unseen Lurker is, it's basically a gaming magazine. Pretty much Warhammer orientated, but they have a bit of everything in there. And like I say, we did a review of the last issue, so I think it was the last episode, or maybe the episode before, so you can check that out. Unseenlurker.com. Odd Games with us as ever.
As ever, yeah.
Been pretty long time with us now. Odd Games have. I do remember start of the year, so that was some time ago. So 8 months ago now, we had Ollie on the show at the Sheffield Slaughter.
It was, wasn't it?
Cradling his glass of red wine and telling us all about Odd Games. So what do Odd Games do, Ben?
Basically, they'll sell you pretty much anything wargaming related. From Games Workshop to Privateer Press to everything in between,
and not
really.
just wargaming, they do all sorts of games.
Yeah, they do
board
a lot
games.
of Xbox stuff, board games, card games.
Yeah, they're a distributor for Fantasy Flight, so they've got all the Invasion and all that sort of stuff. The new Horus Heresy board game, they can stock that. Anything you like. And like I said, not just the Warhammer stuff, they do all sorts of different game systems. So check them out, that's oddgames.co.uk. They've also got a forum. So you can get on the forum and have a chat to the guys on there. It's got quite a little community built up around them. So that's Odd Games. And last but certainly not least is Back to Basics. That's back to number 2 base.ix.com. And these guys make resin bases, movement trays, all sorts of stuff like that. I think they're starting doing painted models as well. So you can get them from Back to Basics. But the resin movement trays resin bases are quite tasty, aren't they?
They are. They're very nice. Massive selection of them as well for Warhammer, for 40k, for all sorts.
Yeah, so check them boys out. Okay, so that's our sponsors. We're going to do a little bit of news because we've been away, so we haven't really been keeping track on what's coming and going. But one of the things that did jump out at me was that Mantic Games are releasing an actual rules set.
Yeah.
And Alessio, of all people, is going to be writing it. So I'll be very interested to see how that's going to go down. We've had Ronnie on the show before, so hopefully we'll get him on again in the future to tell us what's happening over at Mantic Towers.
I'd be very intrigued to see that.
Yeah, so
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, very intrigued. Apparently, from what I've seen on the net, they're going to keep it simple. It's going to be a small rule set, which is given away free with the figures. To start with, it's just going to be a PDF that you can download. And then in future, it's going to be a small book that fits into the figure cases. You know, the plastic like DVD type cases they do.
Is that not like a massive money spinning mist?
Why?
Well,
what, selling the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah, but from what I can gather, they're aiming themselves as being a miniatures company rather than a rules company.
Fair enough.
And the rules are just another way to play with their figures if you want to, which I quite like.
Yeah. I can see both sides, I suppose. But I just thought that nice book, couple of quid. Don't know.
So have you seen any more news?
No, not really. To be honest, not really been.
No, been away, haven't we? So the Island of Blood is up for pre-order. I know that.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, that's up for 60 quid, isn't it?
And we put a post on our forum, haven't we, about if you want to swap. So
yes.
If you're buying a set and you just want the Skaven, you'd like to swap your High Elves with someone else's Skaven, you get yourself over to the Bad Dice forums, and there's a swap shop on there. You can
in the
meet up with other guys who want to do the same sort of thing. So is that about it for news?
Yeah.
Yeah, seems it. So we're going to hop straight into our Fortnights in Fantasy, sort of glossing over...
Bit of a monster.
Glossing over the ETC, because we're going to talk about that later in the episode. But so in the run-up to the ETC, what was you getting done? Any last-minute painting? Any last-minute games?
No painting. I think we spoke about the last games that we played, didn't we, before we went?
Yeah.
I played a couple on the Thursday at the venue.
Oh, yeah, at the actual ETC.
Yeah, because obviously we flew out. When did we fly out? Tuesday, wasn't it? Got very, very drunk for 2 days.
And played a couple of games of Warhammer on the Thursday and Friday.
On Thursday and Friday. And then the main event, obviously, on the Saturday, Sunday. Flew back Monday.
Yeah.
Rather worse for wear, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do anything in the run up to it other than work. I was a bit rushed up on feet. It was a bit hectic. Since I've come back, I've done nothing neither. I've not even painted. To be honest, I've not even edited the recordings from the ETC yet. That's one for me to do tonight and tomorrow, I think. So yeah, I've been a bit out of it. But you've been straight on it, haven't you? When you come home, you went down the club. I
came back on the Monday, and on the Tuesday night, my missus went off to her mum's. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to Warhammer World, play Warhammer.
Hardcore.
Yeah, man. So off I went, and I played Martin Morin, one of our newfound club mates, Mr.
Yeah,
Play.
Martin's been on the blog as well, hasn't he?
Yes.
Martin was the dwarf player who was on the Warhammer Games Workshop blog, playing against Rich, the Wood Elf player, wasn't it?
Well, I'd say smashed. Well, yeah, smashed. Martin's dwarfs. He had quite a funky dwarf army, actually. He had a Lord and an Anvil. And a BSB. He had a horde of warriors, which looks kind of impressive.
Was it 40 of them?
40 of them, yeah, 40. What else do you have? Unit of Longbeards, 20 crossbowmen with full command, and 20 miners as well. Which 20 miners coming on and then getting anviled is horrid.
Move a long way, don't they?
Oh yeah, and massive unit of them as well. And I played him with my Empire, which was kind of crap to me.
So how have you been doing your Empire? Have you just been using your 7th list and tweaking? Or have you just...
No, basically I've gone along the lines of I've been playing with an uber finely tuned shooty Empire army for the past 8 or 9 months now. So basically using everything I've not been allowed to.
Oh, right, okay.
To a certain extent. So I've got Pistoliers instead of Outriders, no Steam Tank, Hellstrom, which actually is kind of cool in 8th. Especially if we combine it with an engineer, with the new engineer rules. So been quite good. Quite good fun. I also took a level 4, which...
Do you think you need it? I thought you needed it for the dispelling. Obviously, you played dwarf, so you probably didn't get a lot of
I didn't get
out
massive use out of it. I took life as well, which, I don't know. Everyone seems to be so fixated on life being awesome.
Yeah, the new hotness, but...
I think on the slan, it's horrid.
Yeah, because you're in the Temple Guard, you can cast regen on your own unit.
Yeah, and also as well, especially if you've got the is it Rumination, the extra dice.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of dice to chuck a lot of spells out.
Even if you're rolling low on the wins, even if you roll 5 or 6, you can still get, obviously, your Throne of Vines off, your regen off, your +2 toughness off, or +4 toughness off if you've got vines.
Just don't do it while there's a screaming bell around.
Yeah, don't do that with that. You might struggle getting dwellers off and a big regrow, but you're still getting 2 or 3 of the good ones. Whereas with the Empire, if you roll low on the Winds of Magic, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You don't have enough dice to push it through, because generally your opponent's also on.
See, I've been finding using the High Elves that I'm the same as a Slan pretty much, because you get the Banner of Sorcery.
Yes.
And you're piling on the power dice, and you're not struggling. But then go to the Dark Elves, all of a sudden you do find yourself a lack of power dice sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially if you think, right, this turn I really need a good magic phase, and then all of a sudden you roll 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to happen.
No. I mean, it can be worse as well if you roll 8.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially if you start chucking some doubles. If your opponent's got a couple of items that give them an extra couple of dice, like I say, if you roll 8, your opponent's getting 4. If you're playing an Empire army with a Warrior Priest,
your opponent could get up to 6.
Do you know what I mean? You get 6 straight away. I mean, the army I took to Maelstrom at the weekend was getting +2 from the War Altar. It had a channel on a 6 and a channel on a 5. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of turns you're getting an extra 3. You're not far off what your opponent's got.
No.
But that's where the Slan with the Ruminations really pushes it through with the extra dice.
Oh, yeah, it just turns it up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, again, what you're rolling on average, 11? 2 dice +4?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That gets your regen, your Throne of Vines, and your toughness off, doesn't it? 11s.
Yeah.
So you're not using many dice, and then you can... Dwellers! Blah! Bloody spell.
Okay, so... How did your game go against Martin then? Anything exciting happen? You learned much new?
Panic was very interesting. Immediately.
What do you mean?
It's just weird. I think it's just so different. Do you know what I mean? You shoot a unit, it's panic test straight away. It's like, oh, right.
What, as soon as you cause 25?
Yep.
You sure?
100%.
Okay.
Same as if you wipe something out, immediate panic test.
Yeah, that's always been the same that has.
But yeah, that's... Because obviously before, in 7th, it was like, right, I've shot them. They're taking a panic test. They're on a low leadership. I'll not bother shooting anymore. I'll shoot something else.
Yeah.
Because you're hoping they're going to panic. Now, you know if they do or not.
Yeah.
It's just getting your head around it. Hellstrom, just against blocks, is just win with an engineer.
Nothing sort of amazingly new there, though.
No, not really.
It's just that you're using it now, whereas before you wouldn't.
I
suppose it does hit a lot more, doesn't it? And it's strength 5.
It hits so much more now because obviously beforehand you had the bounce, then you had the scatter, but you also had to guess relatively right. Now I was sitting there with a template, holding it over it where I'm looking at it to land, measuring back 8 inches and placing it down. It's spot on every time. Whereas if you're guessing that and you're a couple of inches out, do you know what I mean? Suddenly you're overshooting. It's the same with the mortar. We were having long discussions with this at the weekend at Maelstrom. You get 25 guys, you put the mortar template over them, they hit every single one.
Yep.
In 7th, you could still hit every single one, but if you were out with your guess by an inch, you miss the front and the side rank.
Yeah.
So suddenly you're not hitting 25, you're hitting 15.
And a lot of them are partials.
A lot of them were partials, yeah. Nah, it's just horrendous.
Oh yeah, it's they are a bit good.
Artillery is bent.
But then, do you not find that you can lose your artillery piece just to a unit of bowmen rolling 3 6s?
Yes. That's the flip side of it. They do die a lot quicker. Obviously, the misfire table was worse. It's not massively worse, but it is worse. And like you say, the shooting can take them out pretty quickly.
You see, this is one of the things I'm thinking. Rather than running, speaking from the high elves, rather than running the level 4 with life, running with fire. Sit at the back, never putting yourself in danger or then miscast, and bombard with your, is it 48-inch fireballs?
Yeah.
That's going to deal with your Hellstrom pretty rapidly.
Yeah. It will. I think there's a couple of other fire ones as well, isn't there? Relatively long range if you power.
Yeah. It's the beauty of the Magic decks at the moment. There's a lot of choice. No one knows what's best. Obviously, everyone's singing the praises of Death Magic with the Purple Sun and all the characters sniping.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, it's not the be-all and end-all, is it?
No.
And you play a Skaven Horde where you never get anywhere near any of the characters or get line of sight to any of them.
Mind you, even then, the Skaven ones have got high leadership, haven't they?
What, the characters? Yeah, because you had your ranks. But I don't mean that. Even if you do kill the characters, you've got like 300 rats to deal with.
And is there not a couple of... I know Warriors have got one, haven't they? An item that makes you immune to death.
There's two items. One makes you immune to the characteristic test.
Yeah.
And one makes you immune to death magic.
Yeah. But do VCs not have an anti-death magic thing as well?
Oh, I'm not so sure.
I can't remember.
Not so sure on that. So, you were down the club playing against Martin in preparation for this weekend then, wasn't you?
Yes.
Which was?
Maelstrom Games Autumn
Incursion, yeah.
Which seems weird in August.
And it's the first big 8th edition tournament in the UK. I'm not sure if there has been any other small one-dayers.
There's been a few small ones, haven't there? But I think they're more of clubs getting together rather than...
Yeah, getting together, learning the rules and putting a tournament tag on it. Whereas the Maelstrom one was the first major 2-dayer.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, the only 2-dayer so far in England.
Certainly in England. I don't know about the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But, well, there was one in Germany, wasn't there? On the Thursday, Friday, there was a small 8th edition tournament.
Yeah, you see, I didn't see any of that. I didn't know it was 8th edition.
Yeah, there only struck me as maybe 15, 20 people playing.
Oh, right, okay.
I wandered over once or twice just to point out a certain page in the rule book.
With your army on.
Yeah, and
nice.
I've got my England shirt on with my name on it. Pointing at it and going, let's see the name. Let's see here. Yeah, me.
Cock.
Yeah, a little bit, but, you know. What do you do?
So, yeah, Maelstrom Games this weekend. What do you think?
Well, I went down Friday.
Yep.
Yeah. Off work. I'd done all my decorating, done all my jobs. So she let me out. Which I was quite chuffed about. So I went down and I played Joel with his ogres.
You played Joel before?
No.
Because we've seen him a lot of events.
We've seen him a lot of events, yeah. And I've never played him before. And turns out ogres, if you shoot them, they all run away.
Still? Oh, right. Nothing's changed then.
We played the funky random deployment scenario where you roll for each unit.
So what was in Joel's army?
He had 2 units of bulls, 6s. He had 2 giants, 2 scrap launchers, 2 big units of Noblars. I think it was 6 Iron Guts and 3 characters. Tyrant, BSB, and Butcher.
So when he was putting the characters in the units, was he still keeping them 3 wide or going?
Yes, keeping them 3 wide for... he put them all in the Iron Guts, which is kind of funky because they have to go in the back.
The characters do?
Yes. Because Command Group have to stay in the front.
So all 3 characters went in the second rank?
Because he didn't have a champion, he had a standard and a musician. Or he didn't have a musician, he had one or the other. So he's got 2 command figures and 3 characters. So he's got standard, champion, tyrant, and then the BSB and the butcher go in the rear. But they still work. Which
because really, you attack like normal from the second rank.
Exactly. But they still can use the BSB, the butcher can still cast spells. Odd. But a lot of things in 8th edition are odd because you've got a 7th edition head-on still. If you know what I mean. Same with the reform that we had later on. He charged the Iron Guts into some flagellants, left 1 alive, and did a combat reform to turn so the flagellants fighting his flank. Yeah,
so he could charge in another direction next turn.
Yeah, so that in my turn it meant my swordsman that could have charged him would have been in his front. If they didn't charge, when he kills the last flagellant with his 2 guys, which he obviously should do, he's got line of sight to the rest of my army.
Quite funky.
I sort of looked at it, I was like, is that right? Really? We had a quick look in the rulebook, and it's like, yeah.
Yep.
Seems that way. That's quite good, that is. And Mr. Hall has cottoned onto that quite rapidly with his Billy Bloodthirster.
And he's been using that, he was saying this on the phone to me earlier.
Yes, to great effect. So, in the end, Joel got shot a lot and magicked a lot and cannoned a lot, and it kind of all died, apart from the...
Sounds like 7th edition.
It does a bit. Again, with a random scenario, he ended up with 2 bulls on the left and the Tyrant Iron Guts on the right, so it meant his general and his BSB were miles away. So again, the bulls are struggling on the panic tests.
Okay, yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can see that.
So he was facing 30 crossbowmen that ended up opposite him.
And you just showed him no mercy and gunned him down in cold blood.
It was kind of all I had, and then I bogged down the big unit of the Iron Guts with the Flagellants and the Swordsmen, while the Knights went off killing stuff. The War Otter went off.
How many Flagellants did you have?
12.
So only killed 11?
Yeah, only killed 11 on the charge.
I thought he'd done more than that.
I charged, that was it.
You charged and he only killed 11 with 4 characters and 2 Iron Guts.
Yeah.
That's a bit rough.
What can you do?
And his stomps.
I didn't roll the dice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. Good game. Lots of things that, again, you're looking at going, that's not right. Surely not.
Seems a bit odd. And then
you look in the book and it's perfectly fine.
Was there many there on the Friday night?
20.
That's a good turnout for a 50-player tournament.
And then a lot of them went off for a curry and some random blue milk making, which was...
Blue milk making?
Yeah, some of the Black Sun boys apparently tried boiled milk and soap to make blue milk out of Star Wars in the hotel kettle.
Them boys are weird.
They're a bit mental.
They are a bit mental.
Yeah,
in fact, now they're a lot mental.
Yeah. But no.
Okay, so the tournament itself. Now, the format was 6 games, 2,200 points, and you played one of each scenario from the book, yeah? In order?
Not quite in order, and we didn't play Watchtower.
Oh, right.
So I'm not sure why we didn't play Watchtower. I never got to the bottom of that. We played 2 pitch battles, 2 number 1s, and then one of everything else. I can't quite remember the order it was in.
Do you think it might have been because they didn't have 25 Watchtowers? Or maybe when they were selling tickets, if they sold 100, it's 50 Watchtowers, isn't it?
Maybe, but then they had lots and lots of buildings on the tables. I mean, the table I played in game 5 had 3 on.
Oh, right, so they might have had enough.
So I don't know. I don't know why they didn't play that one, but they didn't. Who did I play first? Where's my book? Oh, Max Horseman with Bretonnians. Never played Max. To be honest, only know him really from reputation.
Yeah.
Because he's not played Warhammer for a long time.
He was at the Tempest Rising event, Stockport.
Okay, I didn't see him there.
He played with the Warriors of Chaos. He was on top row for most of the second day.
No, okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Missed that completely. I've been talking to him, saying he's playing a lot of War Machine and stuff.
So, how'd you find the Bretonnians in 8th? Are they as rubbish and as bad as everyone's saying they are now that cavalry's just nerfed according to the interwebs?
Well, no, because they still hit like a train.
Yeah, see, I think this as well.
They hit like a train, and even then in the grind, after that, they're got two up save with Ward, and they're all weapon skill 4, and they're pushing out a lot of attacks because obviously the Knights are all fighting. So yeah, and they get ranks too.
Yeah.
So,
and they get a free BSB.
Free BSB. Pegasus Knights are probably a little bit better because you get -1 to shoot them now. Skirmishers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They have to go.
How did you find that? Because they're obviously flying cavalry as well, aren't they? So they got his fast cav move and then a flight.
Yeah.
So is he charging on? Oh, you can't charge on turn 1.
You can't charge on turn 1. I went first. I had Pistoliers and he had his Pegs Vanguard move. I moved the Pistoliers forward a bit. He moved the Pegasus Knights forward a bit. I shot them all.
Oh, right. Was it as easy as that?
Yeah. I mean, we spoke about it after the game. He says he thinks he made a mistake. He pushed it in front of... I suppose you should go through my army, really, shouldn't I, before we get too far?
Yeah, go for it.
Archlector, level 4, with Armour of Tarnus and the Channeling Stick, which is channels on a 5. Level 2 and an Engineer. Level 4 was on Life. Level 2 was on Fire. I had a Cannon, a Mortar, and a Hellstrom. I had 12 Flagellants, 10 Knights with full command, 5 Knights with a Banner, 20 Crossbows with full command, and 5 Detachment Crossbowmen. 20 Swordsmen with full command and 5 Detachment of Crossbowmen. 6 Pistoliers with a Champion, and I think that's it.
Fair enough. Quite a big army then.
Yeah.
There's no tank.
No
tank. A lot of toys.
No tank.
And not too many war machines neither. One of each.
No, one of each. Again, just stuff that I've not had a chance to use. And Huntsman, which I was really impressed by.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, really.
Why?
Really. The new scouting rules.
Because you can go anywhere.
You can go anywhere,
12
just 12 inches away, yeah.
And they're fairly mobile, they can march and
yeah,
shoot.
and again, like say war machines. You shoot 10 of them at a war machine for 2 turns, you're probably going to kill it.
Yep.
But I was cheating all day Saturday.
Why?
360 line of sight with Pistoliers and Huntsman.
Did it make much of a difference?
They shot a few times when...
You get free reforms, though, because...
Yeah, they could have turned around and shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They never shot something behind them and then charged the next turn.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So it didn't make a huge difference. And it's just something that I'd just not spotted. And it wasn't until game 4 when my opponent was like, you can't shoot 360. Do you know that? No. Whoopsie. So, yeah. But learning experience.
Yeah.
Everyone was there to do that. Max.
Yeah, Max.
Had a general, a quest in general, a BSB, 2 level 2s, both on beasts. Big unit of errants, big unit of Grail, big unit of Realm, massive unit of peasants, like 40 of them. A trebuchet, some Pegasuses. I think that was about it. Yeah. Could be wrong.
Fair enough. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I think that was about it.
No need looking at me for help.
I know. And we played the diagonal scenario, which is that meeting engagement, the diagonal one. We played that. I shot him a bit. He got into combat, smashed me up.
Quick as that, 2 turns. Bang.
No, we played all 6, but that was pretty much the size of things. A lot of my cannon exploded, which meant then he could start charging his characters out alone.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? And I made a big mistake, really. I didn't move my knights backwards in, I think, turn 3, when he was charging everything alone out. I should have moved them backwards, and then, because I didn't, I fled, which there's no real need to flee at all, because all it was his general charging. He could have charged his general, and he could have charged the last remaining questing knight at them, and I fled, went off the board, which was silly, because I think I was 8 wide at this point, 8 wide with 2 at the back, so I'd have been steadfast for an awful long time, even if he'd gone in and smashed them. You're looking at me going,
Well, run that one by me again. Why would you have been steadfast?
because I've got a rank.
1 rank, but
Yep.
he'd have killed enough to drop that rank.
I was 8 wide.
8 wide,
8 wide,
2
2 at the
deep,
back.
so 16 of them.
No, 8 wide,
Yep.
2 at the back, 10. He's got to kill 5. He's got to kill 6 before I've not got a rank of 5 men.
So your front rank...
Front rank is a rank.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So if you've got 5 wide and you're fighting a monster,
Yeah.
so it's 6 of you and a champion challengers, your
Yeah.
monster kills a champion for a bazillion,
Yeah.
you're still steadfast?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now, you see, you've got me worried here, but that's how I played it in all 7 games.
Fair enough. And your opponents were fine with this?
No one questioned it.
Okay. All right.
Now you've got me really worried.
No, it's fine. Let's just pause it right there.
Okay.
Okay, so a quick check on that. You didn't notice the smooth editing for it back in and out. Yeah, Piers, you didn't cheat. He's spot on.
I didn't think I did cheat. It's just the look on your face of, really?
So that's quite good, actually, then. So
Yes.
when you got your bowman in, like...
Yeah,
dead wide, a single model coming in is never going to chop them up.
No.
Ooh, very good, very good. I like that one. I'll store that one away and not tell anyone about it, eh? Don't.
Okay.
Okay, so... like you say, you should have held and...
Should have held. His general would have got there in the end, because I think he had the Sword of Might and the extra attack for every wound malarkey.
Yeah.
So he'd have chopped through a few of them a turn, but again, he'd have been stuck there for a while. I'd have lost the knights in the end, but it meant I could have been shooting other... His general wouldn't have then been free to run around killing a cannon and an engineer and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that was a bit of a fuck up, and we spoke about it at the end as well. It's like, I should never have done that. Yeah, probably not, but it was a very enjoyable game, to be honest.
So what was the final score?
Final score was 14-29 to Max and 7-66 to me.
Good stuff. So 2 people in a row you've not played before, so that's quite good. So game 2.
In a row that way.
Well, you played Joel.
Oh, right, sorry, yes.
And then Max.
Yes,
that's 2 in a row.
Yes.
You've not played them before?
No.
Okay. Game 2.
So, 3 in a row.
Oh, this is quite good then.
Andrew Lewis, I believe.
Yep.
From Team Andy Joyce. Now, I gave Andrew my best sports.
Okay.
Andrew took it like a man.
All right.
He had a bloodthirster.
Oh, I saw the Twitter about this.
He had 35 horrors, 35 bloodletters, 6 flamers, 2 single fiends, 6 flesh hounds, and a jugger.
Yep.
Jugger Herald. Zinch Herald as well, and a Corn Herald on foot in the bloodletters.
Yeah.
Zinch Herald knew all life. I went first. I killed the bloodthirster.
What, one cannon shot?
First shot of the game.
Bang, 6.
Bang, get it off. I landed a mortar on the horrors. Killed 10 or so of them. I landed the Hellstrom in the middle of the bloodletters. Like, bang in the middle.
He killed all of them.
Killed an awful lot of them.
Yep.
In the magic phase, I'd also dwellersed the horrors. Now, they don't like that.
No, I imagine not.
That really does upset them.
Did you get the characters?
No, I didn't get the characters.
Oh, that's a shame.
I also banishmented. Cast banishment on the flamers. Now, for people that don't know, banishment is 2d6 strength 4, unless you're demon. It's 3d6 strength 4, and you've got to re-roll your ward saves.
You got to re-roll your ward saves?
Oh, yes.
So that made a right mess of them as well.
So that upset the flamers. That was the magic phase. And then the shooting phase, the pistoliers and the huntsman finished off the flamers. Then he got to have a go.
With what was left?
Yeah. So he sort of shuffles forward a bit, cast dwellers that I destroy scrolled.
And then you did it all again in the next turn.
I did it all again in the next turn. The cannon killed the herald, the Hellstrom, boom boom, bang bang, la-di-da, la-di-dee. Turn 4, he's got flesh hounds left, which are just eating through the flagellants. Better give him something. In fairness, the flagellants made a bit of a mess of the flesh hounds. Because you get a lot of attacks back.
Yeah, of course. Especially the first round, the flails and mortaring.
Yeah, so...
I think you need to paint some more flagellants.
I think you're right. I think I need to paint another 30.
Another 30?
Yeah. So after turn, I think 5, start of his 5, or maybe even 4, he's got three flesh hounds left, and he's just like, yeah, you win. So that was
rough.
That was 2,395, played 120.
So you was rewarded by a nice easy game against?
Well, I've just got to sort of say thank you to Andrew for, taking it well and taking it like a champ.
Yep.
Well, you know what I mean?
I was at work and I was following it on the Twitter because you were twittering and Adam was both on the Bad Dice Twitter feed. And yeah, I saw the photo of turn 1 dead pile and it was like half an army. So yeah, a bit rough.
It also had Andrew in game 1 had his bloodthirster kill before it had moved, and then in game 3 I believe he played the Diesel, and the Diesel killed the bloodthirster before it moved. I think the one that the Diesel did was even better though, because it was Fortune and Glory or Blood and Glory.
Oh yeah, he killed it, turn 1 takedown, wasn't it?
Yeah, killed the bloodthirster,
that ends the game,
drops him down to fortitude points, game over.
Yeah, turn 1 before he got to move.
Yeah.
That was quite tasty.
So,
go Ben Diesel.
So, game 3, I played Scott. Sorry, Scott, I can't remember his second name. One of the black...
It's Scott Lyons.
Scott Lyons, there you go. Black Sun Massive. He's also got Empire. He's got a level 4. Again, Dweller's action. You've got 2 big blocks of Swordsman. Big unit of Knights with a Warrior Priest in. Cannon Mortar Hellstrom. Steam Tank Archlector. And I was like, I'm in trouble here. I can't...
Because of the tank.
Cannot deal with the tank at all with just the one cannon.
Did you not just try and dwellers it every turn?
No, because I'd not thought of that.
Idiot.
To be brutally honest.
At
that point, I'd not thought of that. And it's the Fortitude mission, and Scott had got, I think, 1 more Fortitude than me. So I'm thinking this could be tricky. First turn, he dwellers my Knight unit, kills a level 4, kills a level 2, kills a load of Knights.
Ooh.
I'm thinking, fuck.
Yep.
Going down here. And I tell you what, that scenario is like playing Warhammer with a gun pointed at your head. because from sort of turn 2 onwards, because I had a turn then, and I just everything shot at one unit of swordsman with his wizarding, and I mean everything: the cannon, the mortar, the Hellstrom, all the crossbows, all the magic. Well, I didn't have a lot of magic by then, but it was the War Altar, which again took out one of his banners, took out his BSB. So it's like, right, we're back in here. And then it came down to, I had like a shaky panic test on crossbowman unit with a banner, and it's like, if they go off the table, or if they flee, they had a long way to go to hit the table edge. It's like they've got to rally, otherwise it's game over. And at the same time, he charged the War Altar into the Pistoliers, side of the Pistoliers, because I'd forgot to move them.
Go Team U.
Amaze me. Honestly, mate, it's the pressure of that scenario is mental. It's brilliant. It's so much fun. So he goes in there, smashes them, but only rolls 4 on the overrun. And I'm like, mint, cannon can see you now. So my go, cannon, hits both of them, kills the Archlector, Ben wins. Just like that.
Good stuff.
Game over. And to be honest, Maelstrom came up with a way of fixing that scenario into their scoring system, which I don't know. It's not ideal because obviously instant win, which is great for your 3-1-0 sort of scoring system. But obviously the Maelstrom used the victory points plus tournament points plus stuff, don't they, up to 5,000. So basically, I think what they did is if you won on scenario, you stopped the game where you were, you added up the victory points, and then whoever won on scenario got another 2,500 points because they're in a 5,000 point system.
Oh, yeah.
Is what I think they did. That's how it sort of looks from the score sheet. So when it finished, I was on 1,089 and Scott was on 1,236.
So he's edged ahead.
So he was 147 up.
But you got a load of bonus points.
But I got the scenario win, which I think gave me another 2,500 VPs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But like I say, that's a rough scenario.
Yeah, well, we'll have a summary of the scenarios at the end. So, game 4, you was playing Warhammer, one of the Warhammer old boys, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was playing Rob Lane on Sunday morning with his Warriors.
So he's not been around on the scene for a while? Is he having a resurgence into 8th? Or is he just because it's one of his events, he thought he'd take part?
I spoke to him, I said, we've been playing much Warhammer, because obviously we don't see him as much now, do we? Now we don't go down the Slayers. And he says that this was his sort of 7th or 8th game of Warhammer in 2 years.
Fair enough.
So, not a lot.
Yeah.
He says he's quite liking 8th, though. So, obviously, I knew I was playing Rob before.
The draw went up on Saturday night, didn't it?
Night, yeah. I didn't hang around long because obviously been away for a week playing Warhammer. The missus would have killed me. So I went home and knew what Rob was playing. And to be honest with you, I thought, I'm screwed. Because he had a level 4 on Heavens, which was interesting because no idea that Chaos Sorcerers could go on Heavens.
No, neither did I, actually.
Yeah, but apparently can.
Okay.
So he had a level 4 with Heavens. He had a BSB. I think there was only 2 characters. Yeah. He had 6 Dragon Ogres, 6 Trolls, a Shaggoth, 20 Chaos Warriors, 2 times 5 Marauders, and 2 times 5 Dogs, and 1 Spawn. And I looked at his army and I was like, I just can't stop it. No steam tank. I just cannot stop it. Can't stop it. Just moving forward and killing me. But again, the scenario was the random deployment, the one I played on Friday. Oh, excuse me.
So he ended up having all his toys split up. So don't tell me the Trolls ended up miles away from the BSB and the
miles
general.
away from the BSB and the general. So the Trolls failed 6 stupidity tests.
Oh yeah, they would.
Yeah. I knew the Dragon Ogres were going to be a problem. I just shot them as best I could and fed them knights and stuff. Let him have them, basically. I thought that's all I can really do. Got the War Altar into the knights, the warriors.
Oh yeah, held them.
Yeah, challenge
for a while. I imagine they chewed through it pretty quick.
No, I just challenged all the characters and bashed them all.
Oh right, he had all the characters in there, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just sort of lined them up with the War Altar man.
Yep.
Even against a Chaos Warrior champion, I get more attacks at a better weapon skill.
Yeah, because of Speculum.
Even against a sorcerer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I killed all of them. kept the War Otter alive, I had to cast the heal spell.
Yeah, the one from the Outtractor.
Yeah, in the last turn, just chucked I think chucked 6 dice and got a double 6 to heal it back up. To stop because he had the Banner of Rage, he had additional hand weapons. And like I say, once the characters were gone, what are you smirking at?
I imagine Rob wasn't best pleased about you healing the War Otter after he'd spent all game chopping it up.
Yeah, but hey ho. Yeah, he had a bazillion attacks coming at it. So, healed that up and that survived. The Dragon Ogres, he had 4 of them left by the end. The Trolls got Fire Magicked a lot, shot a bit, and then charged with the rest of my army in the last turn.
Yep.
Beat them by a lot. The dogs got shot, apart from one little fucking dog. He had 3 dogs left, so shot them with 25 crossbowmen, and there's 1 dog left.
Oh.
Passes its panic test. Right, brilliant. Next turn, moves forward, tries to charge the cannon, fails. By this point, the big unit of crossbowmen have gone, so I've got 5 crossbowmen detachment left. Shoot the dog, doesn't die. Charges the cannon, kills the cannon.
Oh.
Cannon did kill the Shaggoth, though, which was nice.
Very good. So, a win to you?
A win to me, not a very big win. It was 1620 played 1175.
So, just eked it out.
Well, yeah, because you get the bonus for the BSB for killing him.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, we had to look that up, and to be honest, it's not massively clear, but it sort of does read along those lines. That if you kill the BSB, you get 100 points. You don't need to capture it like a banner. You can capture it like a banner and still get 100 points, but if you kill it in combat,
well, if you capture it like a banner, he dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Or if you cannon him, you get it.
Yep.
So, game 5, I get the Wildman, which annoyed me massively.
Why? Because he'd got the same army as you with a
he's
tank.
not got the same army as me. He's just got...
Oh, no, he'd got cannons, hadn't he?
He'd got an Imperial Guard army. He'd got a level 4, an Archlector, a Pegasus Captain with the Speculum. Not the Speculum, the...
Casket.
The Casket. He got an Engineer. He'd then got 30 crossbowmen in units of 10s. A couple of detachments of Halberdiers, Free Company, and shite just to get in the way. 25 swordsmen. Oh, he got BSB as well. Then he got 2 cannons and two cannons, 2 mortars, Hellstrom.
I thought he had 3 cannons.
No, 2 cannons. 1 on the steam tank.
All right, so 2 cannons, 2 mortars, a Hellstrom, and a steam tank. Good boy.
Yeah, and it was Battle for the Pass.
Oh, nice. So you just got shot to bits. You got a taste of your own medicine.
Well, I sort of looked at it. I thought, well, if I sit back, I'm going to get shot to death. There's nothing I can do about that. So I thought, right, everything went on the 12-inch line apart from the artillery, which went about a foot back from that. I was kind of hoping for the first turn. And when I'd added up what units you got, I thought, oh, I'm getting +1. And then realised I'd not counted the flagellants. So actually, Mark got +1 and went first.
And shot you. Shot you a lot.
Quite a lot, yeah. But I did get into him. And to be honest with you, I was a bit gutted to have lost. He made a massive mistake with his steam tank. He got very, very greedy.
What did he do?
Trundled it forward, shot it in the first turn. My first turn, I charged it with Huntsman.
And held it there.
And obviously, you don't break. You win the combat because you've charged. No unit strength anymore. His turn, 4 steam points, decides to shoot the cannon. So shoots the cannon at the War Altar, who wards the fuck out of it, and then doesn't do enough damage to
break him. Because you got 5 wide.
Because I was 5 wide, so steadfast. That's where the whole steadfast thing came in, and that's where we quick look in the book. No, look, can't see any reason why not. Okay, 5 wide, steadfast. Not doing anything for another turn. And then when he did eventually break them, he failed his roll because he took 3 wounds from a misfire when he tried to fire the cannon again.
Oh, okay.
So failed that. So basically couldn't turn it around to get into the rest of my army, which at this point had run completely past the steam tank into the now depleted swordsman that had been hellstrommed and mortared and dwellersed. Dwellersed, yes, it's a new term. Or hobby ruining.
Hobby ruined.
Yes. So the knights, with the 2 wizards in, charge 10 swordsmen
Yep.
in turn 3. Still there in turn 6. They just would not fucking die. Kept making his parry saves, everything.
I bet he was cackling, wasn't he?
Oh, he was cackling like a schoolgirl. Oh, dear. Bless him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the scores on the doors on the end of that?
In the end of that, it was 1108 to Mark and 663 to me. So I lost by 445.
Narrow loss.
Narrow loss.
Not too bad.
But it was a good game. Good game.
Excellent. So it was 6 games this year, and Wildman was game 5. So who was in your last one?
Jerry Brawley.
Oh yeah, I've played Jerry before.
Of the People's Front of Judea, I believe his new club's called.
What?
Yeah, him and Mark.
What?
Yeah. It's a Monty Python thing, isn't it?
Oh, right, okay.
Jerry had the Slan.
Party Slan.
No, it wasn't a party Slan. It was a Dwellers Slan. Slan, know all the law, extra dice.
And life magic.
Throw the miscasts, BSB.
Temple Guard unit?
Temple Guard, 25 Temple Guard, 25 Saurus, 25 Saurus, 10 Skinks, 10 Skinks, 2 Sallies, 1 Sally, Ancient Steg.
Can I guess what happened?
Go on.
You shot everything at the Temple Guard until it went away?
No.
Okay, go on then.
I shot everything at the rest of the army until it went away.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, a lot of shooting. And then Jerry miscast. Casting the Dwellers. In fact, no, tell a lie. Even better than that. Turn 1 in Dwellers and tried to destroy it, failed. Next turn, gets it off. Can't stop it. Takes out most of the knights, takes out the level 2. Level 4 dodges like a ninja. So my level 4's like, well, I'm not having any of that. You're having the fucker back. So Dwellers at the Slan. Slan dodges. Fair enough. Next turn, Slan dodges it again.
Getting a bit frustrated now.
It's not even funny, this isn't. Then, before I'd done it the second time, Jerry tried to regrow some Temple Guard.
Okay.
I think I killed 5 or 6 of them. Regrow Temple Guard. Okay. Miscast. Right. I'll use the hands and pass it over to your wizard. Rolls 1.
Oh.
Unlucky, Jerry.
And now that you know he's got it, your wizards run for the wind.
Yeah.
He wouldn't like the wind even.
In fact, no, tell a lie, he had the thingy on as well. The ignore it on a 2.
Oh, that was it.
The vines. Fails that. Tries to pass it on. Fails that.
2 1s.
2 1s.
Oh, nice.
Then, roll on the table then, Jerry. Give us a 1. 1. Oh, throws the second dice. 2.
So the Slan dies.
No, the Slan doesn't die.
Dodges that as well.
But
he kills all his Temple Guard.
However, his Temple Guard are not so lucky. So there was 16 of them left in the unit. Kills 14 of them. Then Jerry says, "Oh, I get me 5 back. That grew." I says, "Hang on, doesn't the spell happen before the miscast?"
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, right. So they need a strength 10 as well, then, do they? Blammo!
Kills them all.
Kills them all. So Jerry's left with 2 Temple Guard and a Slan going, what the fuck just happened? A bit more shooting, bit of combat. The War Altar goes in the flank of the Temple Guard before the miscast. It just ruins the machine. Just ruins it in no time. The Arch Lector runs away. Rallies, goes into the unit of another Saurus. Swordsmen and Knights are into that Saurus block as well. Eventually breaks that. Dwellers the Slan again, dodges that. So it's 3 Dwellers and miscast. Last turn charges 2 Knights with a banner in the rear and 2 Pistoliers in the rear. Do 2 wounds to the...
So is the Temple Guard all gone by now?
Temple Guard are all gone by this point, yeah. 2 Knights with a banner and 2 Pistoliers into the rear of the Slan. Do 2 wounds to the Slan. The Slan does nothing back. So I've got rear, 2 wounds, charged, and a banner for 6. Jerry's got banner, war banner, down by 4. Passes.
Ah!
The Slan was a lucky bastard.
Party Slan.
That was all he had left in the end, because the cannon took out the
army by the sounds of it.
No, took out the Stag and a couple of Sallies and whatnot. Skinks got to me but got beat up which was quite fun. The Crossbowmen beat them up. The Salamanders spent most of the game eating their crew. But when they did shoot...
horrendous.
Really horrendous, yeah.
Was it 3 of them?
He had 2 and then 1.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they're really good. Really good. He got the 2 of them landed on the swordsman, almost spot on, and ruined them. Absolutely ruined them. It's a good job all the knights have been dwellers, really, otherwise they'd have been gone as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good game. Apart from Jerry farting all the way through it.
Oh dear.
Oh, bloody Nora. So in the end, that was a very, very big win to me.
So it bumped you back up the table, did it?
Yeah, it bumped me back up. I won that one by 1102. 1825 plays 723.
And it put you into...
Put me into 10th.
Well, that's not too bad.
Which,
not too shabby from 50.
I was very happy with the army I'd taken. I didn't think the army was very good.
No.
No steam tank, no second cannon. I didn't think it was up to much.
Now, looking down the results sheet in front of me, Will Goodwin was first with Empire.
Yeah, with pretty much a 7th edition Empire army.
Just to see how it went.
Not a million miles away from what I took to the ETC.
Yeah. Adam Hall, Bad Dice Massive.
Yeah.
Second place with his Bloodthirster.
Yes, he had a Billy. He had 2 Tzinch Heralds. I think one was Life, one was Beasts. 2 Slaanesh Heralds.
Both with
Siren in a big unit Demonettes, big unit Horrors. 12 Flamers.
2 single fiends. That's about it.
That was it, wasn't it?
You only have 2 blocks?
I think so.
Small army. 2 blocks, 2 flamers. Yeah. Very small army.
Yeah. But it's the Bloodthirster just goes around.
And it's the Siren songs, double Siren.
Yeah, double Siren. Bloodthirster goes along, smashes something.
Combat reform to
even
space.
Even if it doesn't beat it and break it, combat reforms to look at the rest of the army, knowing that in his opponent's turn, the Bloodthirster should finish off whatever he's fighting. He charged a few Hydras, goes in, doesn't quite kill it. But combat reforms, knowing that the next turn he's gonna kill it or should be killing it. And then in Adam's turn, he's free to charge then whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's not played many Dark Elves at tournaments in 7th edition. And then all of a sudden, he's got 5 out of 6 Dark Elf armies here. And then the one person he didn't play, one person he played who didn't have Dark Elves was probably the guy you'd have expected to have a Dark Elves because it was Ant Spears.
Yeah.
So Adam was in second, and then Craig Namvar, 3rd place with Dark Elves. So new name on the podiums.
Yeah.
We've not seen Craig pick up a trophy before, so congrats to him. So yeah, good turnout and a good event by the sounds of it. Now,
Adam Hall was also best sports and best painted.
It was Chris Tomlin from the Black
Sun with his very, very nice Dark Elves. What he has done, which I really, really like, is he's got unit Corsairs, but he's got the Warmaster Hydra.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like it's in the 2nd rank on a rock, so it's kind of like coming over the front of the unit. It looks really good.
Excellent, and a bit of the old Ben Diesel watch.
Yeah.
24th, so must try harder. How was it at the weekend? Good old Diesel.
As usual, grumpy self.
Oh, he's miserable, isn't he? He's a miserable fucker. He really is. Okay,
honest,
so
with friends like the Black Sunlight, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
They hammer the poor lad.
So, first 8th edition tournament. What do you think? What was the general buzz? And did the Maelstrom run the half points on units?
Yes.
And how did that go down?
I kind of meant to keep a better note of that, but I didn't.
Right, okay.
I meant to see, sort of add it up twice, but didn't.
Okay.
It made a few differences in quite a few games. Like Max should have absolutely smashed me.
Because you got nothing off him.
Because I would have got very little off him. I think I'd have got the Peasants, the Pegasus Knights, and the Trebuchet, and I think that'd probably been it.
Yep.
But as it happened, I got half of Questers, half of Errant, and I think I got half of BSB as well. So Max should have had a much bigger win than he did. So I don't know.
So what about 8th in general? Now you say, from the reports that I've heard Life Magic was everywhere.
Life Magic was everywhere. Purple Sun was everywhere. Round 5, I was on table 9, I believe. No, in round 6, table 9. and the table in front of me, which would have been 5. Yeah, table 5. They were packing up after about 20 minutes.
Because of the Purple Sun or something.
It was, oh God, I can't remember the guy's name. Vampire Army. Dwellers had killed the Lord. Turn 1.
Nice.
And he's like, well, I've got 6 crumble tests. My army will be gone. So he packed up and went home.
Oh, dear. Yeah, fair enough. Well, saying that, Adam lost his bloodthirst on turn 1 to the Purple Sun as well, didn't he? 6. Anything but a 6? Oh, dear.
Yeah, but is that quite the same as losing a Vampire Lord?
No, of course it's not.
Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you're in trouble, but Vampire Lord, your army's vanishing as well.
Yeah.
So,
So was there many 8th edition armies there, or was it all pretty much 7.1?
It was, I wouldn't say it was 7.1, but I don't think it was what we're going to see in 6 months.
No,
there's a lot of big units. A lot of people seem to be taking advantage of the rares. Like most of the Demoness army I saw had 2 fiends. Jerry with his 2 units of Sally's and a Steg.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So that seemed to be quite evident. A couple of hordes.
Was there a lot of double hydras?
Quite a few double hydras. Trying to think what else there was. There was a good vampire army with 4 units.
Yeah, I heard about this one.
Yeah, 50 ghouls, 50 zombies, 50 skellies, 12 black knights.
Excellent.
And then characters.
What about horde units? You said there's a few of them.
There was a few of them. There was a couple of dwarf hordes. Neil Packett was running the Skaven Clanrat horde and then turned it round in sort of game 5, so it was deep. Which probably is for the best because they don't...
Yeah, the thing is, with you being deep, you're steadfast forever, and then when you stick more units in, you're getting your attacks.
The thing is as well, dwarfs, especially dwarfs with great weapons, the weapon skill 4...
They're going to chop Skaven
They're
up.
strength 5. So those extra attacks
do
a lot.
Dwarfs against everything else.
Yeah, whereas
Skaven is
more
nothing,
weapon skill 3, strength 3 attacks, does it achieve much? Probably not.
Probably not.
One thing I did notice is a lot more, obviously a lot more stuff dies, not just from the magic and whatnot, and artillery, but in combat. Now everything's, basically, there's no more 4 up save, 4 up save, 4 up save. Do you know what I mean? The change into the parry rule is makes quite a difference. Trying to think what else.
So, did you learn anything new? Did you come away with ideas buzzing around your head?
Yeah, which is really annoying because I've had to send my listing for Cardiff on Friday
before your tournament.
Yeah,
oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, which is a bit annoying, but
Cardiff's quite different anyway because it's no lord choices.
Yeah, no lord choices. I've kind of struggled really right now.
So, what do you think to comp in the tournaments before? I mean, obviously, we're going to need comp of some sort because, like you say, game's been ended on turn 1 and things. I mean, I know you could in the old edition, but it is a bit more predominant this time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just banning it from one of the first 2-day events, and they're changing things already.
Well, we've spoke about this before on the show. I don't really want to. And I spoke to a few people. Spoke to Rob Lane about this actually. About comp, I says, comp, like you say, is probably inevitable, but I wouldn't like to see it until probably January. And Rob sort of nodded his head in agreement, really, because we don't know it. We don't know enough about the game.
No.
I mean, we've had one tournament. There's Cardiff at the end of the month. There's the Warlords in, September? Do you know what I mean? There'll be a few others dotting about the place. But again, until we've had a lot of games, and everyone's had a lot of games, and tournament organisers have started to talk to each other about it, we don't know what needs comping.
No, of course
not. Do you know what I mean? I did, speaking to one of the Belgians that was at the Maelstrom event, that was in the ETC team as well, which was a bit odd because I'd not seen him over in Germany. And he was saying that, I don't know if it's on the Belgian forums or what they've been talking about doing is basically bringing the laws of magic back down to 6 spells. So get rid of number 6 and make the signature number 1. Which, I don't know.
It's one way of doing it.
It's a way of doing it. Not sure I like it, but maybe that's what'll happen. I know Giant Fanatic have stopped you powering it up, the 6th spell.
Yeah, well, we're going to have Asger, the organizer, one of the organisers from Giant Fanatic, on the show sometime in the future to talk about how they've approached the 8th edition with the tournament.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they've made quite a few changes, but that's the Giant Fanatic way anyway, because they do have run heavy comp and lots of crazy stuff in there. So we'll get him on sometime in the future to talk about that. So line of sight, was there any problems with this?
I didn't have an issue at all with it. Having spoken to Asger at the ETC about what they're doing at Giant Fanatic, which is effectively a point system for everything. So, a hill will be 1, a bigger hill will be 2, whereas...
It works very similar to the War Machine one.
Yeah, so, an infantryman will be 1, a cavalry will be a 2.
Yeah, so a man on a horse could see over a man on foot, but not over another man on a horse.
Exactly. Which...
Ogres could see over men and not over... Yeah.
I can understand where he's coming from as well. And to be honest with you, when he posted it up on the Giant Fanatic thread, it was a well thought out, well written post, as you'd expect from Asger. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't just, I think this is crap, so we're doing this. He explained the reasons behind it, because obviously they've got a lot of terrain that they've spent a lot of money and a lot of time making, which was one of the things we came back from Giant Fanatic with last year, wasn't it? Was how good
the terrain was, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And now it's all sort of
it wasn't. It's one of the best tournaments we've been to for terrain, and obviously they've put a lot of time and effort into it. They can't afford, or they don't have the time to do that again to make it suitable for 8th. So they've come up with this system, which I don't think is a bad system, but I'd like to use the one out of the book for a while first.
Yeah, of course.
But no, at the weekend I didn't have any real problems. You look at something, 9 times out of 10, it's obvious that what can see. The times when it's not, you get your head down, you have a look, your opponent does the same, you come to an agreement.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. Stuff like magic and artillery, you just need to see. So it's very rare that you're going to be able to hide things from that.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what I mean? Because you just need to. See
you can usually see a part
model.
of it.
Do you know what I mean?
Even if it's through a crowd of other models.
Exactly. Like Jerry Stegadon, I shot it through a forest, through 5 crossbowmen.
Yeah.
But because the trees have got trunks on for like an inch or so, through the crossbowman's legs, see the feet of the Stegadon.
Yep.
Shoot my cannon, no problem. When you've got missile fire, again, you just look at it. Get your tape measure out and just put the angle on it. Through the middle of the unit you're shooting at, I was shooting past my knights. So half my unit couldn't see, -2. Get on with it.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? It's I didn't have one single problem with it.
Okay, well, it sounds like the first 8th edition 2-day was quite a success.
Yeah.
Maelstrom are running another one in December, which is, I think it's the 12th.
The 11th and 12th.
11th and 12th of December.
Yep.
It's the Winter Incursion. You can go on the Maelstrom website. Go on warhammer.org.uk. Check out the events forums, and you'll be able to find all the details on there. So we're going to have a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the ETC.
Exciting.
Back to Basics and our proud sponsors of the Bad Dice Podcast. Based in Adelaide, Australia, they serve both the national and international gaming communities with quality resin products. If you visit www.backtobase-ix.com, you can view all their fantastic products, which includes resin bases, terrain, modular gaming tables, and even a wide variety of movement trays to suit all shapes and sizes for your 8th edition armies. The Back to Basics movement trays come in pretty much any size you could possibly need. If you find something that you want and it's not on their website, they'll even make it for you. The Back to Basics resin bases come in all different themes to suit any fantasy army. Designs include brick, cobblestone, desert, dirt, dungeon stone and forest, amongst many more. So if you like what you hear and fancy picking up some of the Back to Basics range, visit www.backtobase-ix.com. When you go to the checkout, insert the code BADDICE and you'll receive a 10% discount. That's www.backtobase-ix.com. Unseen Lurker is a new, exciting gaming magazine covering gaming, tactics, hobby, modelling, reviews, interviews, and even the occasional zebra. Each issue has a quarter of the magazine available for download, so you can try before you buy. It's the first independent global magazine encompassing articles from generals and hobbyists all over the world. Every issue of Unseen Lurker, that's Lurker with an E, is packed with giveaways such as custom dice, t-shirts, as well as the Game of the Month as reviewed by our Unseen Lurker test dummies. For more information, check out unseenlurker.com. Okay, so we're back from that short break, and now we're going to talk all about our exploits at the ETC. And exploits there were, I think.
Yes.
So we headed out there nice and early on the Tuesday morning. The event's obviously Saturday, Sunday. So, well, it's a 4-day event this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they had a bit of a side event going on, didn't they?
Yeah. European singles event, they called it.
Yeah, which kind of crashed and burned a little, really, didn't it? From the amount of players that had originally signed up to the amount that actually finished was somewhat different.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Yeah, I think people signed up with all the best intentions and then went out and got wrecked.
Yeah, went out and got ruined on the Wednesday night.
Is probably the only way of putting it.
Didn't turn up on this Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Now, the singles event was a bit of a strange setup. It was
10 games, 1,500 points, army swap.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest with you, I'd have loved to have tried.
What would you have took? Not counting the fact that you use an Empire in the ETC, what would you have took if you could have chose anything?
Probably Orcs and Goblins.
Yeah.
I think I know them pretty well, and I think they'd catch a few people out, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, I remember when I interviewed Asger in the run-up to it, he was saying he'd like to have taken his Tomb Kings.
Yeah.
For pretty much the same reason. And as it happened, Tomb Kings won it overall. It was young Harry from the New Zealand team who came in first, and second place was Dave Grant. So two of the Team New Zealand were in 1 and 2.
Was Dave also using his Tomb Kings?
No, Dave was Lizardmen.
Was he?
Yeah. So yeah, 1 and 2 for them boys. I don't know who came third. I didn't quite catch that. I'm just looking for the results now online, and they're not forthcoming. So yeah. So congratulations to the winners. Now I found the second place singles event trophy lying around on the hall on the Saturday morning.
Did you really?
Yeah. David just wandered off and left it under a table somewhere.
Good lad.
So I took it back over to Saturday morning. I think it was Saturday morning. Yeah, he'd wandered off and left his trophy.
Bless.
So yeah, so we got out there bright and early, had a few drinky poos, a bit of a party time on Wednesday night. I had my shoe ruthlessly stolen.
Oh, yeah. Your shoe ended up on a roof, didn't it?
Paul Bridge from Danish Captain threw my shoe on a roof and it stuck in the gutter. I don't think he was quite expecting that. He went and got it for me the next day. Went to the building site next door and borrowed a ladder, fetch it down.
I've got a great photo of you, hands on hips, one shoe, looking up at this roof.
Confused expression, wondering how the hell I'm going to get it back.
Shoe. What am I going to do?
Yeah, that's my shoe. And he says, have you got any more shoes? I was like, no. Why would you bring 2 pairs? Well, no, I did have another pair, luckily.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we rocked up at the venue on the Thursday.
Yes.
Took all the recording tackle, didn't we?
Yes.
Now, we didn't do an awful lot of recording. Got a couple of hours worth, I think.
Yeah, a few hours.
I'm going to tag it on to the end of this episode, so anyone who wants to listen to a 4-hour marathon can do, or you can just listen to the show and then
listen
sign
to D6G.
Yeah, maybe, and then sign off before the end. But we got got some good interviews. Mainly, we wanted presents more than trying to interview because there's too much work to interview to get enough recording done over the weekend. But I think it was good for the show to have all the gear set up all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, again, once it's set up, catching 5-10 minutes there becomes a lot more of an easier task, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was good. I mean, I'm not sure what the quality is going to be like.
No, it's a loud hall. Really,
it's a very loud hall.
500 odd players.
Yeah, especially on
the
Sunday. The stuff we did on the
Even
Sunday.
on the Friday, there was a couple 200 or 300 in there.
Yeah, I bet.
Really, really busy. So the main event for us was the Friday afternoon. We had an Ashes round against the Australians, didn't we? So out on the Wednesday night, rotten drunk. Bit of a not quite so crazy on the Thursday night, but still a good rowdy one. And a nice steady afternoon.
It was Thursday night, Warhammer night at the Landsman.
Yeah. The Danish guys had gone in with the attitude of a preemptive drinking attack.
Yeah.
So they go out there 3 or 4 days early, get proper ruined for the first few days, and then no drinking over the weekend, so they get out of the system. And we got a phone call saying, "Where are you?" It's like, we're at the venue. Why? This is on Thursday. You've got to come to the Landsman.
Yeah.
So we went over to the Landsman pub, where it's like the local Warhammer club is in that pub on a Thursday night. They had some gaming tables set up, and walked in, and Trolls from Team Denmark was playing against the Australians. By the Australians, it was 3 of them, and they were taking it in turns, a turn each. Now, Trolls had been in the sunshine all day, drinking.
Can I just make a point as well? On the ceiling of this room is like a disco light. And every time you make a loud noise, it changes colour.
Yeah. So once you start laughing and cheering, it all changes colour, and then you're going, shh, quiet, as it turns back to white. It was just insane. You've never seen anything like it. But Trolls and the rest of the Danish lads have spent all day in the sunshine making a pyramid out of the trellis tables that they used to put the gaming boards on. I've got some lovely photos of this, which will be going up on the Snake Eyes section.
I've forgotten all about that.
They'd spent all day in the sun drinking, and Trolls was wearing his overalls because he'd also been helping paint the tables.
They weren't overalls, it was a paper suit.
Yeah, it was a disposable paper suit.
Yeah.
So when we got to the Landsman, Trolls was still in it, covered in paint, in all his clothes. Anyway, halfway through the game, Gav Clark steps up. It's his turn to play the high elf army, and Trolls was watching him, and Gav starts to get his belly out, rub his belly at him. So Trolls gets his belly out. Gav turns around, gets his arse out. So Trolls goes, one moment, he takes off his overalls, takes off all his clothes, really all of his clothes, puts his overalls back on, and then goes, "Okay, I'm ready," as if nothing had happened, as if there wasn't 30 blokes in the room watching him.
No, I missed all this. I was outside.
Outside smoking.
And then got a call. Come in, you need to see this. So I walks in and watching a bit of the Warhammer, and I could kind of tell that Trolls was completely naked under this paper suit. And I thought, you know what? I don't need to see that.
Don't need to see anymore.
So went back into the next room, started drinking, and then when the Warhammer had finished, out they come. By this point, Trolls' paper suit is ripped to shreds.
I've never seen a dude so drunk and still be fairly coherent.
Yes.
At one point, I think he'd cast Plague Wind with his Ground Clean one on the Phoenix Guard, I think they were, killed a load of them and made them run away. And he puts his paper suit on, puts his foot up on his chair, so his balls are hanging out the bottom of his suit. And he starts stroking where his moustache should be. And he says, "If I had a moustache, I would be doing this." Stroking his imaginary tash. Oh, I've never laughed so much over a game of Warhammer. It was so much fun. And the Andrew Galea was keeping score with Paul. And they were counting, and Guns was going, "Yeah, we're up. We got 60 points here. We got 30 points there. We're up." And then Gav Clark gets in, and they lose about 1,000 points. So yeah, a very, very, very amusing evening.
Yes.
And then the Friday we rocked up and played the Ashes.
Yes, we did.
So we paired off. We did a proper pairing system this year. Last year we did it on the rankings, and some of the matches were good, some of them were bad, but it was just running potluck. Whereas this year we did proper pairing.
It wasn't our idea.
No, it wasn't. It was good old Trent Dennison. So this year, obviously, we both got a fair crack of the whip. And I don't know. I think we paired quite well.
Well, it was the 8 team members, wasn't it, in a proper pairing, and then the 2 non-playing captains. It was Chuck and Marcus. Both played each other, didn't they?
Yeah. So I mean, I thought we paired quite well. We had Jeff Galea, High Elves, playing our dwarf player, Michael Biggs. Now I thought that was good for us.
Yeah,
it was going well until about turn 2 when the anvil blew up. And then it was quick whispers go around the team. We do it. The anvil's gone. The anvil's gone.
We're struggling, boys.
I thought it was up in that one. I don't know. We thought dwarfs versus house should we go on for the dwarfs. So that would be one to us, I think. Then we had you against the Bretonians.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. The Aussies seemed to fancy the chances in that one.
I was a bit worried about the killing blow on the Lord.
Yeah.
And also the lack of Bretonians that played.
Yep.
When we'd obviously looked at the lists prior to this and sort of had a discussion about who wants what, if possible, and that was probably the one list that I didn't want to play.
Okay.
Mainly because of the inexperience versus Bretonians. Ended up getting it. Obviously, it was Ninja from last year that I gatewayed the Vampire Lord from. So I'm thinking,
gonna get your event.
I'm due one here, aren't I? Do you know what I mean? Good game in the end. Very tactical. He didn't have Killing Blow on the Lord. So
no, he had
the +1 over toughness to wound stick.
So he always wounds you on 3s.
Always wounded on 3s, yeah. Which eventually took the steam tank down.
Yeah, because it's strength 7 against the tank.
Yeah, but pinned him long enough that it didn't really matter in the end. Jeff got a little bit of bad luck with a couple of terror tests. The Pegasus Knights by the side of the building, which he after they'd fled went outside for a quick smoke. He was rather gutted about because he was insistent that he could charge one of the wizards.
Yep.
And I wasn't so sure. To start with, it was an awful long way away, and I didn't think I'd line of sight. But he was pretty convinced. But I was pretty sure I'd covered that. But hey ho, we'll never know now. So the Pegasus has fled in terror, landed on a unit of errant knights, which fled, failed the panic test. They were on 7 on their own. Hit the board edge, and obviously they were 9 deep.
So it's a long panic test.
Long panic test, which Jeff didn't know. Thought it was just a point. I had to show him in the book, which sort of surprised me a little bit, to be honest.
Okay.
So we had another panic test on another big unit of errants. These were in range of the general. They also failed. So
3 units down.
So 3 units down. Well, the one big errant went off the board.
Back on, wouldn't it?
The Pegasuses didn't go off the board.
Okay.
And the errants sort of came back across his lines, which blocked off one of his lancers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did have a bit of bad luck with that, but you know they're a low leadership army, really.
Yeah, they are. It's the risky take for taking
general range, and
it's the risky take for taking Bretonnians, which are a leadership. They do rely on. They suffer from bad leadership.
Yeah.
Instead of a dark elves or vampires or one of the other armies that did not suffer from it so much.
But, I mean, he did well the rest of the weekend. So
yeah, he was flying.
Yeah. The rest.
Well, you got a good win in that one, didn't you?
I got
14-6.
14-6. Yeah. The rest of it was pretty standoffish, to be honest. My shooting, and he couldn't really commit with an awful lot of stuff. Archlector went in to pin small units and ground them down eventually with the Soulfires and the Cleansing Flares. The Wizards, again, with no shooting in the army, and the Pegasus has gone.
Yeah, you can just run around where you want.
Took metal, just jabbing things.
Yep, trying to snipe the characters.
Snipe the characters, take the champions out, that sort of stuff. That was pretty much it, really.
So, for the rest of the pairings, I mean, we got our vampire player Russ Veal against Lockie. Lachlan were two with Tomb Kings. Now we thought that was a really good match for us.
Yeah, I mean, but then the Aussies thought that was a really good match for them.
Yeah, I know. I don't think they thought it was a good match. I think they thought Lockie would be able to hold it to a 10. So I don't know. I thought we'd be up in that, and we were. As it was 20-0 in the end,
wasn't it?
Russ managed to get his Graveguard unit into the side of a unit with the King and the Hierophant in, or something like that, and popped it all. And then
how did he manage that?
Pretty much good night, Vienna. I think he stopped the magic phase when the Bone Giant could have got in front of the unit or something. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. And then we had Gav Clark versus Steve Halliwell, which I thought good one for us. Wood Elves versus Empire. I'd say it was good for the Wood Elves, but again, it can easily be a draw.
Well, I played Steve on the Friday as a bit of a warm-up, and I just ran my Archlector straight forward, which in the end was the difference, because Steve managed to take it out, and that was basically the difference, the 380 points to Steve, basically, which was just the Archlector. Ordinarily, I would never have done that, because it can get taken out relatively easily by Dryads and War Dancers. So yeah, I'd have put that as a 10 all day long, really, against the Wood Elves.
So, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
So them guys had a bit of a 2-hour gazing into each other's eyes contest, and 10-10 in the end.
Well, it's for the Empire player to risk and lose, really.
Yeah.
I struggle to see what you can really do.
Yeah, struggle to get points without pushing for him, and then it's theirs.
Like and the only real thing you can push with is the War Altar.
Yep.
And it's a lot of points if it goes down.
Of course. Well, the tank. You push with a tank.
Yeah. Well, the tank rumbles forward and gets pissed. But then his bowmen and stuff get bits
Yeah,
to
of course.
replace it. So,
and then we had Marcelo versus Rob Downey. Now we knew he was onto a hiding in this because Rob Downey had played Dan Elan on the Thursday, and they'd give it was 30 minutes.
2 turns.
Yeah, 2 turns they gave up. Rob hadn't lost any figures, but it's like there's no point carrying on. It's all going to go. Yeah. So yeah, that was we knew that was going to be bad, and it was. We went down 14-6. So, I mean. Yeah, we minimised the losses in that one.
Well,
and Marcelo went really well. I think he got 97 over the weekend, so he was flying. Didn't lose a game.
No.
Big wins everywhere. So yeah, he did really, really well. Then we had Dan Elan, our Lisbon player, versus Demons again. And again, I thought we'd have been up in that, but that was 10-10 in the end. So yeah, Evan obviously played that well. He must know how to tackle the lizards with his
They went
Bloodthirster.
the other way, didn't they? They went the Thursday, didn't they?
Yeah.
So
that was again. I thought we'd be up in that, but so far going through the pairings, I thought we was doing quite well.
Yeah.
Marcus versus Charles, captain off again. I think everyone knew that was going to be 10-10. Vampires versus High
Elves.
It's not really going to. Barring some amazing luck on one person's part, there's not going to be a lot in it.
Well, that was 11 until the last turn, wasn't it, for Chuck?
Yeah.
And then the Star Dragon breathed fire on the Graveguard and took them down at half points, and that took it back to 10.
Yeah.
Because towards the end, we were after I'd finished. I think Rob had finished. I think Biggs had finished, and we'd been round the rest of the tables with what we predicted everyone to get as it was, and I think we'd lost the Ashes by about 3 points.
Yep.
We were like, oh fucking hell, this is.
Got to play, boys.
This is bad. So we went round, come on, guys.
I think everyone had gone in a bit below the par, you know what I mean?
Probably.
On our side.
And then as it came down to it, it sort of, like you say, I'm going to get a 6. They got a 7. They got an 8.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
and gradually we creeped back up, didn't we?
The last 2 matches were there was myself versus Trent Dennison, Skaven, Dark House versus Skaven, and there was Chris Legg versus Andrew Gleer. Now, Legg had played Guns a few times.
Yes.
And Guns, apparently Guns had said, I played him like 4 times and hammered him 4 times.
Yeah.
He's got to do something different. And then Legg deployed all his characters in his Sense Bearers in a forest, and Guns was like, oh, fucking hell. I'm not going to win this.
Yeah.
And he did. He won 14-6 in the end, but obviously we thought that would be worse.
Well, yeah, I mean, while you were one of the last to finish, weren't you? And Leggy was the last to finish. And we'd sort of done the points on it and done the maths on it. And
I was saying that mine was bad.
Yeah.
And it turned around in the end.
Yeah, you got a few more.
Well, we'll talk about mine now then. So I got Trent, and I says to Marcus, I got the choice of playing Trent Skaven, or I can't remember what the other one was. It might be, it's Andrew's Orcs. I got a choice of the Orcs or the Skaven.
Yeah.
And I says, look, I can play either. I'm probably going to go. It's going to be hard going against the Orcs because there's a lot of them. You don't get any points off them, and they've got 5 war machines.
Yes.
Well, I could take the Skaven. No one wants to play it. It's probably Australia's best list. I'd have thought, looking at the lists. I could take that and just hide from it, get a 10, and if I get the opportunity for points, I can take points where I can. I think I made a mistake in deployment, and then I had 2 places I could hide the dragon. Well, no, I couldn't hide the dragon anywhere.
Right.
And I should have realised this from the start and gone, right, the dragon's going there and taking the cannon, whatever. Instead, I sort of tried to hide it, and then by the time I deployed, it sort of had to go in one place. I got the first turn and shuffled out the way of the cannon, and then it's just, I don't know, if I was in the middle of the board, I might have been better off, but I don't know. I ended up having to take a cannon shot on turn 2 because I thought I'm going to be in a lot of shit here. Trent pushed everything into one corner, and I thought, well, I'm going to lose both my wizards, and that's like 400 points. He's going to win 12-8 with table quarters and that. So if I take the cannon shot on the dragon, the chance of him killing the dragon and the rider is slim to none. If he kills one or the other, he gets his 12-8 anyway. I can try and hide the rest.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't kill either, then I've got a good chance of turning it around. So I took the cannon shot. It didn't kill me, and then I ran the cannon off with Dark Riders. On the other flank, it was delaying action to hold the big bell unit up. I think Trent made a mistake putting slave unit on top of a hill, and I stood my assassin in front of it. So I just stood there and let him charge me, and then the assassin was fighting the slaves for like 3 or 4 rounds of combat. Eventually he broke me. I keep beating him. When there was 20 of them, I was fine. Once it got down to like 7 or 8 of them, that was when my assassins started getting frightened.
Well, yeah, but
I was there a long time.
You're pushing your luck, aren't you? Really? Well,
yeah.
You got 4
attacks. Yeah, but he's only got 3 anti, and I'm a leadership 10. So when I went, I lost by 1 and ran away.
Yeah.
But that was that. But that assassin was there for a while, holding him up. I used my chariots to hold the bell up as well, just standing in front of him. And it's like, if you charge me, I'm going to run away. You go 10 inches this way, out of the game.
And then the other one does the same.
He didn't go for it. He kept trying to shuffle around and try and ring the bell to get him a magic movement. I think one time he didn't get the right number on the bell. The second time he rolled it but didn't get the movement.
Yeah.
Didn't get enough movement.
Yeah.
I took the doom wheel down with shooting. I took the cannon down. So towards the end of the game, I'm thinking, I'm doing well here. I can get a lot of points back as long as his magic doesn't go really well. And it didn't. His magic was awful. I think he had a miscast which ended the phase on like turn 4. And with 3 scrolls, 5 dice, I managed to shut it down mostly. A few bits went through and got a few points back, but nothing amazing. And I ended up with a 13-7 win. Now, as you said, we was going around looking at the points. I was saying, this is bad, I'm going down.
Yeah.
And then it was, this is going to be a draw. And then all of a sudden I'm up by 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, that's, you know what I mean? That's turn around.
It was everyone got a couple more points than predicted, which sort of dragged it back round. But while all this was going on, Leggy was going down in flames.
Yeah, Leggy was saying, I'm going to lose, it's going to be 18.
Yeah.
And it came to the stage, because I got the extra 3 that I didn't think, we were saying to Leggy, just don't get 20-0 and we've won the Ashes.
We've worked it out, haven't we? Even if you did get 20-0'd, it was a dead draw, so England retain.
Yeah.
And Leggy's like, oh, well, yeah, it might be 20. And Guns is like, no, it's not going to be 20, not going to be 20. And I was trying not to get involved because obviously they're still playing, and by this point, pretty much everyone had finished. It was getting a bit crowded around them. I thought, I don't want to get to... And I was sort of talking to Gav Clark. I says, what's alive on Leggies? He's like, well, BSB's there, level 4's there, engineer's there. He's got 3 blocks of clan rats. And I'm like, there's no way that's 20.
But the situation was, his BSB was in a block next to a giant fighting another block, and the Sears unit sort of had nowhere to hide from the war machines for the last couple of turns.
Well, the Sear was in the
sensors. It could have still gone bad.
Yeah, it could have still gone bad, but I mean...
But it was when he got to turn 5 and stopped casting spells.
Yes. Yeah, no more magic, no more charging, no more shooting. Don't do anything. Stand still. Don't die.
Stand still and let me shoot you.
Yeah. But again, I looked at the table and I thought there's no way that this could be 20 unless something catastrophic happens, which even then is quite difficult because the Seer...
Yeah, it was safe.
In a wood with sensors is going nowhere.
No.
He's got 3 blocks of clan rats. At this point, he'd got his BSB and an engineer left. He had a bit of a shaky brake test, didn't he?
Yeah.
And a shaky panic test on the BSBs when a rock landed in the middle of it. But as it happened, was that ended 16-4?
Lost 14-6.
14-6.
Yeah, so, and that clinched us the Ashes. No, it was really tight. I mean, I've just gone through what we thought was good for us and bad for us, and it was 3 good, 3 bad, 3 drawish. Mm-hmm. So it was really tight, and some of the results all the way down. I mean, we got a big 20-0 win against the Tomb Kings. I mean, we knew we was going to get a win there.
Yeah.
Didn't quite think it'd be that big, but it's good. Now, on the flip side of that, we blew our envelope. Sort of cancels that out, you know what I mean?
Well, Biggs was up a little as well at the time, wasn't he? And I don't think he lost that bad, even with the anvil blown up, did he?
13-7.
So...
Yeah, so it was a tight game. To be honest, it could have gone either way. It came down to small decisions and dice rolls across all the games, and it was really good. In fact, I think it was one of my favourite ones of the weekend. That's for sure.
I don't know. I enjoyed the Italian game.
Yeah,
very
well,
much so.
I didn't really,
well,
but
we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the Ashes. England retained. Marcus got to run around and do the pose that I had last year.
Ashes in the air, belly out.
Yep, that's it. And we went out for a nice meal, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It was very nice. It was also very disappointing. We'd booked it, hadn't we? Marcus has been down on the Thursday. and he booked a table for
18
of us. Set meal, bit of salad, bit of pasta, steak, sorted. €30 a head. Books it for 10 o'clock because we didn't start the Ashes until 5. We got 3 and a bit hours of playing and pairings. So get back from the venue, quick shower, quick change, out. 10 o'clock, meal booked. We didn't get main courses till midnight.
Yeah, it was quite late.
Do you know what I mean? We were a bit disappointed with that. I mean, the food was lovely, and for what we paid and what we got, I thought we got a pretty good deal out of it. But none of us would. Well, I say none of us were drinking. I had a glass of wine. I think a couple of people had a few beers and whatnot. But come 11 o'clock, we were all sort of starting to nod, and
yeah,
very.
And the Aussie boys were a bit disappointed as well.
Yeah, the Aussies are obviously disappointed, which we didn't let them lie on that.
No.
Well, they'd have done the same. And yeah, like I say, when the food came out, it was sort of like everyone wolfed their steak down and was pretty much, right,
Home time.
I'm off, lads. And we'd pretty much all got up as one as the dessert was coming out, and sort of grab a couple of strawberries off the top and
go
to bed. But yeah, no, it was a good meal, that was. I did enjoy that. Would have been better if it had come out a bit quicker.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, on to Saturday morning, and the ETC's finally here. It's a crazy time. The spectacle of just 500 odd people in one big hall. The Team America piling in all their fancy outfits.
Was stunning.
It was so good. They must have pulled up in a taxi, 2 separate taxis, and been waiting for each other, and they all came in and convoyed, didn't they?
Yeah.
A line of all 8 of them. With the big hats, the stars and stripes shirts and shorts, Captain America,
Jordan with his Captain America mask and shield. Yeah, it was a spectacle.
Yeah, it was, definitely it was. And it's the thing. That's the thing with the ETC. It's such a spectacle.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. That sort of thing. You don't see that sort of thing at any other tournament.
To be honest, as well, it's just the size of it.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What was it? 32 teams in Warhammer. 22, 24 in 40k.
Yep.
8 aside. It's a lot of people, a lot of wargamers. Plus the hangers on.
Yeah.
And you just don't get it. Certainly don't get it in England.
No, you don't.
You might get Games Day or something like that, but it's not the same. You're not all there for the same purpose. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it is. So
there's nothing more to say.
No, there isn't really. So the draw went up, and we ended up with Finland.
When you say the draw, they pulled names out of a cornflake box.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, awesome! I didn't see that.
Yeah. And the captain stood there. Right, you, captain of Finland. Pick a name out.
It was England.
England.
Yeah. So England drew Finland in the first round. Now we played them in Italy.
We did.
And they beat us quite convincingly, I think.
They did. I killed an Archlector, turn 1, and lost 15-5.
Oh, nice.
Awesome, me.
Yeah, so they're a good bunch of lads. We see them quite regularly because a few of the guys, I think there's 4 or 5 of the team come over to the GTs. We saw them in Giant Fanatic, I think 2 years in a row, them guys have been there. And I played some of the team. Now, I ended up playing against Veal with his demons, and I got a win, got a 12-8 win. It was a typical Bloodthirster list. Got to the table. I knew him. I met him a few times. Never played him before, but met him. Sits down, and he was like, "What the fuck was my captain thinking?" And I was like, "What?" I said, "Any dark elves?" And yeah, we had a great game, really enjoyable. Who did you play?
I played Marco.
I played Marco before. I played Marco at Giant Fanatic.
I've never played him. I've similar to you. I've never played him, but met him at a few. He had High Elf, Star Dragon, 2 level 2s, that sort of jazz.
Yep.
Pretty standard sort of ETC build, really.
Did you get a big win?
I got 19-1.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I rolled double Comet on my Wizards.
And so commented him.
Well, he had to spread out massively, which meant he couldn't hide from the shooting.
Yeah.
He took a risk with the Dragon, which, to be honest with you, I did not understand for the life of me why he did it. He tried to explain it to me, but it didn't make any sense. It didn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He put it out in front of 2 cannons. He deployed it in front of 2 cannons. Do you know what I mean? He was struggling for places for it to go, in fairness. Okay. If he wanted it on the side that he put it on, basically had to.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a massive risk. First turn, he flew it out. Again, 2 cannon shots. I couldn't fathom it. But in the end, the Dragon went down pretty quickly. the rest of it just sort of got shot, got committed. I think I got 5 commits off.
Oh, that's a bit rough.
Yeah, either 4 or 5. It was a bit rough, to be honest. Pretty much got everything.
So I think we got a quite convincing win that round against the Finns, didn't we? 89 versus 71, so it's a turnaround from last time we played.
Yeah, because it's capped, isn't it, at 100 to 60.
Yep. So quite a good bunch of lads and a good start to the weekend.
Yes.
So round 2, we got USA.
America!
So we was quite chuffed at that one because we was looking forward to playing them boys.
Yes, we were.
Again, I think you asked most of our team who you'd like to play, and it was, I think the answer was New Zealand and America and Canada, the guys who had travelled a long way.
Yes.
Because you never get a chance again.
No,
the Europeans.
The Americans in particular, because, I mean, the Canadians had ringers, the New Zealanders obviously had Bobo and Dave. The Americans and the Australians, you're not going to get to play them again.
No, of course not.
Do you know what I mean? Or very, very rarely.
So, and we'd also spent a few days socialising with them, I'd seen Jarrett and Arash over here at Warhammer World. They went to the Midlands Open with Rob Downey and a few of the other guys. So yeah, they're a really, really good bunch.
Well, Travis and Jesse popped their head in at Mouseham at the weekend.
Oh, right, okay. So we lined up against them, and I'd been giving Dark Elf player some stick because I was telling him he'd copied my list.
This is Travis, isn't it?
No, this is Lee.
Is it Lee?
Yeah, Travis played Demons. Harry Pie.
Yes.
So I'd been giving him some stick, and it ended up that we was playing each other, and so that was quite good. And I thought, I'll be up in this because I've got life take on my dragon, and he didn't know. So I thought that's fine. I'll take that every day of the week. Until we got on the table, one had a giant wood at the edge of the deployment zone. He won the roll for the table sides. And that was the game. That was pretty much, okay, it's going to be 10-10.
Yep.
Because I can't go anywhere near that, and I'm sure as I'm not going to sit in the open and let it shoot me. As it was, I managed to get 11-9 because he gave me the first... He took the first turn. Chose to take the first turn, so he couldn't grab the table quarters on the last one. I don't know.
Thinking behind
I think it was because he'd got a wizard in the open because he couldn't hide her anywhere, and I'd told him I'd got a crossbow on my dragon, so...
Got you.
You know what I mean? I don't know if he knew it was Life Taker but he ended up with... He knew I'd be able to shoot at a wizard turn 1 if I'd have got the first turn. And to be fair, if I'd have rolled it, I'd have took it because it's 200 points. You know what I mean? And as it was, we had a bit of a tit for tat. A bit of shooting here, a bit of shooting there. I thought my trump card would be I got conflag on. He rolled dark on his. I rolled fire on mine. Got conflag. I didn't get it off. Just 3 squirrels, 5 dice. Stopped it all game. And 11-9 win to me.
Well, you were playing to my right and had the gayest game, apart from Rob and Arash, who were playing to my left, who had an even gayer game. Arash set up in his bottom right-hand corner. Rob set up in his bottom right-hand corner.
And they looked at each other.
For 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I, on the other hand, played Derek, their Goblin player.
Oh, yeah, okay.
With just men everywhere. And I mean everywhere. It filled the board from left to
there
right.
was. I saw this game, and it was really just men and men and men.
Yeah, it got a couple of units Savage Orcs, which he was clever with, but I knew exactly what he was doing. Obviously, know the Orcs very well. With Night Goblins behind, like 2 inches behind. So it's like, oh yeah, charge the Savage Orcs. Fanatics come out. You got to stand on them to complete your charge or die, etc., etc. So I thought, well, I'm not falling for that. I'm not that daft. So back it up, shoot. Night Goblins wouldn't fail panic tests at all. When Fanatics did eventually come out and scatter, one scattered into a unit of Night Goblins and killed 6, panic test. One scattered into 5 Knights and killed 2, panic test. Which ones ran off the board? Wasn't the fucking Night Goblins. General went down to a cannon, and then again trying to be cute with the Fanatics, throwing them in all sorts of different directions, and got it wrong really, so that the Flagellants could go on the side. Stuck Knights in front of the Savage Orcs. His General killed the Wyvern. General hops into Savage Orcs. Knights come forward to drag the Fanatics out. He chucks them sideways.
And you fled off the board with the Knights, didn't you?
Well, I'm getting to that. He chucks the Fanatics as I move forward, because I didn't charge him.
Yep.
He flew the Fanatics sideways to try and block the Flagellants.
Yep.
which
But he wasn't bothered.
Wasn't bothered, and he didn't get it right. He went the wrong directions, really. So the Savage Orcs have to charge. Knights flee off the board. Fanatics go in the Flagellants go in the flank of the Savage Orcs.
Mortar,
generals in the middle.
Smashy.
Smashy, general off the board.
You see, I saw the Knights run, and I thought, why does he let himself lose the Knights like that? Because I didn't know the generals in the unit.
Yeah.
So that clears that up.
So, no, you're not going to swap Knights and Flagellants for Savage Orcs. So,
that's what I was confused at.
Yeah,
I thought you'd got yourself stuck in a situation. So how did the game go in the end?
In the end, it was an 18-2, which probably it shouldn't have been. It probably should have been a 16-4, 15-5.
Don't say things like that.
He got ridiculously unlucky with the steam tank. He did 8 wounds to it, but pretty much shot it for the whole game with stone throwers. And either failed to wound, rolled ones for the number of wounds, or scattered off. So he was a little bit unlucky.
Yeah.
The steam tank should have gone down to get him another couple of points. But I also positioned the steam tank quite nicely. Positioned the steam tank. He got a frenzied hatred man on a chariot with the brew. Black Lord with the brew on a chariot. Got it backwards for most of the game. So slides the steam, charges him in the flank with Free Company, and then slides the steam tank up next to him.
So he has to turn around and...
So he goes in, he's only got 4 attacks, kills 4 Free Company, one of them runs, got a pursuit, into the tank, smashes his own chariot, flees from the steam tank. So I was quite proud of myself for that. It was a good game, a very good game. To be honest, Derek was kind of quiet because he'd only flown in on the...
Bit jet lagged.
On the Friday night, yeah. So he was a bit... he thought it was like Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Not good. So the final result against the Americans was 81-79 to England. So it was a proper tight, close fought round.
Very close, wasn't it?
I mean, it was always going to be close because we had similar armies. Pretty much all identical, I think, except they had the Orc and Goblins... And we had the vampires. I think that was about the only difference. Yep.
Yeah.
A couple of different builds here and there, but mainly very, very similar. Yeah. So it was always going to be very close. And yeah, we just edged them out 81-79. So good win. A win's a win. Yeah. Bragging rights and all that. Although I think they'll think they've got more bragging rights than us over the final result. But yeah, we'll see. So, next round we've got the Czechs. Now, we played these again in Italy.
We upset them a little bit in Italy, if I remember rightly.
Being a bit too drunk and doing the pairings random.
Yes.
But last year they did really well. They finished really strongly. So, going into this game, we was a bit unsure of what to expect. One of the things we did notice, they had all of armies were like all out attack, weren't they? I played against a Skaven and it was just a rush.
Yeah.
Lots of plague stuff, a Vermin Lord and an Abomination. It was a run across the board and kill you one. I had one shaky turn like where it was all in my face and Storm Banner was up. But me shooting one out, even with a Storm Banner up. Basically, I had to leave it all where it was, not move, shoot it all at short range, hope I killed enough, otherwise it was rolling over me, and I did. Storm Banner went down next turn, and then it was just mopping up, and I got a big 20-0 win. And how about you?
I played Yindra, I think his name was, with Dogs of War, which was a bit of an odd one, really. I was unsure of how to play it, having never played it.
Yeah.
Really. 8 man-eaters, Rhinox, 60 duelists, 60-odd crossbowmen, level 4, 2 level 2s, Paymaster. To be honest...
How did you go against it?
He stood off quite a lot. I shot quite a lot.
You were better shooting than him.
Yeah, in the end. And he couldn't stop the cannons.
No.
Which took out his Rhinox Rider, took out his level 4. To be honest, we thought kind of a bit concerned about getting the game finished, really, because I thought it was trying to move 57 duelists.
It's a lot of
time. It takes a long time. But in the end, he didn't move them after the first turn.
Oh, that's all right then.
And in the end, it was 13-7 to me.
Good stuff. And we went on to win the round quite convincingly in that one. We got 119 plays 41. So yeah, very good. I think the first few results that came in were all really big wins.
Well, I know Leggy was on the table next to me and he 20-0'd the guy in like an hour.
Yeah.
Everything worked.
So, yeah, some good rounds and early to bed, I think, on Saturday night, wasn't it?
I can't even remember.
I remember
what we did.
sitting on the steps at the hotel having a cup of tea with you and Dan.
Ah, that's right.
And then
yeah.
you lot went to bed. I went down the pub with Marcus to look at some pairings for the
Yeah.
morning. And then, even then, I wasn't up dead late. Early to bed, nice and fresh for Sunday morning.
Me and Dan had ate at the venue before we left. Taxi back at the venue. We knew who we were playing, and we sat in the hotel, cup of tea for 20 minutes, just looking through the Greek lists.
Yeah, so in the morning we had Greece,
Yeah.
and the Greek boys pulled up at about 9:30, didn't he? When the
Yes.
round starts at 8:30, so
Yeah.
quite late going into that one.
No, they weren't that late, were they? Weren't an hour late. They were about 15 minutes.
No, they're
Yeah.
nearly an hour.
No, they weren't.
Okay, if you say so.
No, I don't- well,
The round got extended by an hour.
if it was an hour, we wouldn't have played the game.
It would. Okay, whatever.
I'll stand corrected, but I didn't think they were as late as that.
Nearly were. We had a.
Well, no. They couldn't have been because the round they'd only altered the times by half an hour, hadn't they?
They'd put the round back half an hour,
Yeah.
and then they'd extended our game by another half an hour.
Oh,
So yeah, it was nearly an hour.
all right, fair enough.
I got drawn against a Dogs of War player who was a late stand-in. Lovely guy, had a really, really good game against him. Wasn't sure. I mean, we played Greece before and we had a good time, but they do have some fiery tempers in that team, don't they?
Yeah, when we played them in Italy, the guy I played was a grand game.
Yeah.
I had a good one this time as well, to be honest with you.
I had a great game. Really, really good laugh against lovely guy. Dogs of War. He's a bit rough. I don't know. I thought he deployed wrong. His big Rhinox points. I think the idea of the army was he's got 4 units which are worth 500 points each.
Yeah, that was the 3 Rhinox riders, wasn't
3 Rhinox riders, then he's got the Dragon, he's got the level 4, and he's got the Man Flayers. If they don't die, he's not going to lose.
it? Yeah.
I put my Dragon down and all my Shades down opposite the Rhinox, and then he sort of, I don't know, he dithered a bit, and I ended up killing the Rhinox, killed the Dragon, killed the Man Flayers, got Pegasus off the level. I killed it all, it was horrendous. When I fired my Life Taker for the first time, he looked shocked. He was like, "Oh crap," because he knew that was the Dragon flying around shooting at all his little shit units, getting points, causing panic tests and everything nearby. That was Life Taker was gold all weekend. It was so good on that Dragon.
Yeah.
But yeah, big win to me. 18-2 in the end it was. I think. You got big wins as well, didn't you?
No, I got 11-9 against Costas.
Right.
Warriors of Chaos. He didn't roll Gateway, which was nice of him. I lost so much stuff though in turn 2 from Terra with the
Diabolic Splendor,
the -1.
-1.
Lost a cannon, lost a unit crossbowman. The Pegasus rider ran into a building. After that, it was a bit tricky because the Demon Prince just sat behind this building, out of sight of the other cannon. The steam tank had been got Chaos Knights in the front of it, so it was wounded, but it wasn't that bad. But it couldn't really move and turn and whatnot. When I did hit the Demon Prince, rolled a 1 for the number of wounds. That happened a lot.
Yeah.
Got the Archlector into the Giant, but he kept chomping it, so he gets wound back.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? And in the end, it was a small win to me, really. A couple of table quarters and a bit of crap. Really.
Yeah.
The 2 units of Chaos Knights probably made the difference because I went on Heavens and got double Big Lightning and took the Knights out quite quickly. And then went into a steam tank. Eventually broke, actually, which I wasn't expecting at all. I'd made a bit of a mistake, really. I'd moved the detachment up into the table quarter, and if it had stayed where it was, it still had plenty of time to move into the table quarter. I didn't expect the Knights to lose combat.
No.
Or certainly not to break.
No. The thing is, the low leadership. You don't have to
They were on the general. Lost by 1 and failed.
Yeah, but even. You only need to kill a few and you're auto breaking them as well. Oh, no, they cause fear, so you'll be auto breaking them. Or the Slanesh.
Yes, they were Slanesh.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, they were Slanesh. I'm beaten by 1, which I didn't expect. I rolled good on my grinding. I think I only did 2 points of grinding. I think I rolled 5 or 6. Most of them wounded, didn't save many, and off he went. And like I say, if I'd have left the detachment where they were,
you'd killed them.
They'd have ran into them and died.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect them to break.
No.
But hey ho.
Fair enough.
So that was an 11-9.
And that helped us to an 88-72 win over Greece. So there's just 5 wins on the run, and we're looking quite strong. And then we ended up on table 1 playing the Italians. Now, the Italians have won it twice, so they're strong opposition.
They've podiumed every year as well, haven't they?
Really? Is it every year?
I think so.
Top 3 every year? That's quite impressive. And, we knew we had our work cut out.
Yep.
I thought we went quite well on the pairings. We'd been warned beforehand that the Lisbon player didn't speak a word of English.
And was a nightmare.
And I ended up facing him. The worst thing was, I looked at his list and thought, I'll happily beat that 9 times out of 10. And then we rolled the table, and it was the one with the 12-inch wood in the centre of the board.
Yeah.
And he got the first turn, put all his skinks in it. And it's like, well, I'm in trouble here.
Ring of death.
And his temple guard were going one way around the wood. So all my Dark Rider units, my dragon, everything runs to the other side of the wood. So next turn he turns the temple guard around, goes back the other way. I runs all the way around the other side of the wood again. We did this for 5 turns. I got lucky with some panics. He had 3 panic tests in one turn. Skinks just clearing out of a wood and taking all skinks with him. I think it was 2 on the general's leadership, another 1 on his own leadership, and it all just ran through itself for miles.
Yeah.
So I got a load of points back off that. I thought I was unlucky in the last turn. I machine gunned his temple guard, as Chris Legg put it, and single-bolted a Scar veteran after clearing off a unit of skinks. I only did 1 wound to the Scar vet with my bolt thrower, and I didn't even get half points on the temple guard, and that was a 10-10, whereas there was sort of a 12-8 on offer there. 10-10 draw. So that was that. You played another Warriors player, didn't you?
Another Warriors player. Very similar build, really. Apart from, instead of the Costas had 2 Nurgle level 2s, Andrea had 2 Disc Riders instead, and another one on a horse. So we had an awful lot of magic. Couldn't use it all, but obviously he's got the options then, hasn't he?
Yeah, he can have a gateway or he can go flickering fire spam.
He had 3 flickering fires, including the Demon Prince.
Yeah.
Got gateway. Again, quite standoffishy, really. Pretty much everything of his went on the baseline. I went first because he had to tried to hide the Disc Rider on behind an obelisk. Couldn't quite do it, so both cannons got at him. But he's got the 3 at ward hat, so he saved both them. By the end of the game, I had 5 dice in a corner that had either rolled 1s to wound from cannons at characters and chariots, or 1s for the number of wounds. Which was very annoying.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because, I mean, I won 11-9, but it should have been probably 15.
That's pretty rough.
If 3 of the 5 1s had been 2s, it'd have been 15. Do you know what I mean? It'd have been a level 2 Disc Rider, which is best part of 300 points. It'd have been a Slanesh Chariot, and it'd have saved my cannon.
Yep.
Chariot got shot twice by the cannon
and didn't die.
Won both times.
Oh man!
Do you know what I mean? And the
150 points.
Yeah, 150
that's a tournament point.
150 points plus the 100 points that it killed the cannon.
Oh, not good.
Do you know what I mean? But no, I won 11-9, and I tell you what, for all the bad press the Italians get, Andrea, Jen.
To be fair, the Italians very nearly got our best army vote.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had. I think there was one bad game in the whole team, and that was mine.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I might have brought that on myself a little bit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the Italians have got a lot of history with a lot of other teams. Obviously, we've never played them before. And like I say, no problem with Andrea at all.
Good stuff. But we did get a big kick in, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
65 versus 95 to the Italians.
I think I was the only one that won.
Was you really?
Losers.
Yeah. So, table 1, and then it just slapped aside. It was a bit disheartening. And then on our way back down, I think this is where we got a real kick in the teeth, because we're in between some good teams. Because what they were doing, they're putting the draw up, and you could check your points to make sure they were right.
Yeah.
And then you could also see who was on points around you. And we was in between New Zealand, Norway, and Russia. And a couple of I say lesser teams, but they're doing really well because they're up there with us. And then we ended up playing Germany, who were quite far ahead of us at the time, I think.
Yes.
And
again, it came down to a lot of them had played each other in the much earlier rounds.
Yeah.
So the reshuffling was massive.
Yeah. So we ended up playing Germany, and again, Germany, previous champions, and they showed it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were pretty good across all 8 games. I mean, I played their high-off player and lost 11-9. I don't think I played very well. I think I was worn out. I made a few mistakes, and I also had a bad run of luck. Leadership 10, rally test, and a dot ladder unit failed, ran off the table, panicked a nearby bolt throw on leadership 10, and another bolt throw on leadership 8. So both bolt throws and the dot ladder unit went. That's what, 310 points, plus the fact that all my shooting's gone. And bit rough.
Bit grim. I played Felix, Monster Goblin. Lost 14-6, which is my only loss of the weekend. Disappointed.
Yeah, mine was the same in the last round.
Yeah.
My only loss in the last round.
Last game of 7th as well.
Yeah, I know. That pissed me off against High Elves.
Yeah, halfway through the game, we sort of thought, this is the last game of 7th. It's like, yeah.
Felix was like, my last game of
Warhammer. Yeah, not a fan of the 8th. It was a good game. Vampires, 3 blocks of ghouls, block of Graveguard, Wraiths, Vargulf, a couple of bats, a couple of dogs. Pretty standard fare, really. I sort of looked at the table. Some of the terrain pieces were enormous, weren't they? We had one of the buildings, which was basically 12-inch square.
About the size of the 8th edition rulebook.
Yeah, it was pretty much 12-inch square with a 5-inch tower, 5-inch square tower stuck to the side. I sort of looked at it, I thought, the Wraiths are just going to go opposite that.
They're going to run up behind it, run through it, and then run down your army.
And by turn 3, they're going to be into all my shit. And I couldn't bring the wizards out to see the Wraiths because the bats could see them. And I just thought it's going to be bad in the last few turns. I mean, I got up a lot. My magic and my shooting was really good in the first couple of turns, and it had to be.
Yeah, but he nailed your tank in one go pretty much. Two rounds was it?
He moved the bats. Turn 2, his turn 1. He'd moved the bats forward behind a wood in the middle and moved the Graveguard forward. The Graveguard were out of 15 for the tank to charge. They were out, but not by a lot. But I thought, you know what? I'm just going to belly it forward, basically, with the War Otter as well, because the War Otter could see the bats. So the War Otter went forward, pivoted, charged the bats. Looking at it, the overrun took me into a ghoul unit. So I also declared the charge with the Knights. Thinking Knights in the front, Archlector in the rear, or the flank, sorry, should wipe the ghouls out, because I think there was like 17 of them left.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I thought I got a good chance of killing them all in one go, especially if I can get a bit of magic off as well. But cleansing flare off or something like that. As it happened, the Knights failed to fear test. So the Archlector went in, killed the bats, went into the ghouls and got stuck, which meant the tank that had ran straight forward had stood in front of the Graveguard that got charged by the Graveguard with 3 strength 7 vampires in there. Couldn't start grinding. The Archlector couldn't get through the ghouls quick enough on his own. He had to wait another turn for the Knights to come in, turn round, and then get in. By which time the Vargulf had come back round, so I had to charge the Vargulf instead.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Shame. I was... I think I did all I could in it. But I had nothing to stop the Wraiths and the Vargulf with the massive building.
Yeah, of course.
Just nothing at all. And the fucking FAQ that you can't target a Wraith because you can't hurt it.
Yeah, so it's hiding the Vargulf behind the Wraiths.
Yeah, the Vargulf's just running along with a horseshoe of Wraiths in front of it going...
Yeah. Oh, well.
But yeah, it was a very enjoyable game with Felix.
And I think all the games were enjoyable against the Germans, and we voted them our best sports, didn't we? And we had a nice bottle of gin for them. Mm-hmm. And so Germany give us a right good kicking as well. 92 we got off them.
Yeah.
Sorry,
they got
62 we got off them. They got 98.
No.
So yeah, it was pretty bad. And that put us in 16th place overall, which I think was a bit hard done by, really. I was mortified. I went to bed early on Sunday night. It was party night, and I was in bed.
I was absolutely mortified. We all packed the hall up, and we did the results. And obviously, they don't read all the results. Like, it's just 1, 2, 3. And we stood around having a few beers with everyone in the hall, and someone came to me and says, "Oh, do you know where you finished?" I says, "You know what? I've got no idea." And Chris Legg turned to me and says, "Yeah, have you not heard? We were 17th." And I nearly dropped my wine.
Yeah.
I honestly could not believe it. I thought from table 1 in game 5 to 17th.
Yeah.
That was, but then they changed it and we were 16th.
Yeah, go Team Us.
But no, I think I was mortified.
Yeah.
Absolutely mortified. So disappointed with the amount of work that everyone had put in to finish there, but hey-ho.
So that was the ETC. Normal party night, Sunday night, everyone was out of the pub. I went to bed, I'd had enough about 2 o'clock, it done me.
I drank 3 bottles of wine while I packed my army up.
Oh, nice.
In about 2 hours of finishing the last game against Felix, packing my army up, awards, and then back in the taxi. By the time I got back to the hotel to get changed, I had 3 bottles of wine.
Oh, dear.
And then went to the Landsman for some more wine.
Yep. Well, I drank a load of beer during the Germany game, and I had one during the Germany game. I got given one, and then after that, because I finished quite quick, I just had like 5 bottles while the rest of the team was still playing around. I was wasted, so that, like I said, I couldn't hack it all night. Off to bed early, feeling a bit down. Flight home on Monday again. Didn't kept off the internet for a week. I thought I'm not posting it. I'll only make myself sound stupid. I'm quite disappointed. I had not very. I mean, we played really well, better than we've done for the previous years. I don't think we deserved our final placing, but that's the end. That's war. I mean, that's the way the scoring system works. We all know when we go into it. At the end of the day, we had a shot of finishing top. We had a shot of winning it. Game 5, we was on first. We was in 3rd position and going into Game 5. Yeah. We had a shot at taking first. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even game 6, Germany went on to podium.
The Germans were 3rd, weren't they? The Italians were 2nd, and the Danes won it.
Yeah. So congratulations to Denmark. Yeah. I think it's been a long time coming.
Oh, definitely.
Them boys were really organised this year. Really, really organised. They've got good armies, good team spirit. I think that's one of the biggest things. They've got a really, really close knit team.
Yeah.
And they played really well. I watched a few of the games when I finished early, went and had a look to see how they're doing. And they know the stuff.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I was so disappointed with England's finish, because that's what I think we had this year. We put an awful lot of effort, all of us, and not just the 8 players, the captain, but the people also that didn't make the team. Do you know what I mean? They still came along to practice days. They still put their thoughts and input into armies.
Yep.
And that's what makes it so much harder, because I think we worked so hard at it.
Yeah.
We were very organised. We'd got our heads around the pairings. We'd done a lot of matchups beforehand, and we just found wanting, basically.
Yeah,
simple as that. We couldn't cut it against the top teams, the Italians, the Germans. We just couldn't cut it.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I mean, some of the guys, the Australians, are an example. Not taking anything away from them, because they finished 4th. They did really, really well, but they finished 4th by getting a big win against a lesser team in the last round. Granted, it was France, so maybe they weren't a lesser team, but they're coming from. They had no chance of getting top 3. They were quite a few points behind. Yeah. They got 100 points, and there's still quite a big space between them and Germany.
Yeah.
Would you swap that? Would you prefer to be 4th, coming from nowhere, or would you rather be playing at the top and then, you know what I mean, having a chance?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I think 16th is a very harsh reflection, but it was 16th.
Yeah, at the end of the day, 16th. It's something needs to be done next year.
Yeah.
So speaking of next year, 8th edition. How do you think that's going to change the ETC?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. No.
Not a clue.
I think all we can do is wait and see. But for one thing's for sure, I'm definitely going to be there. Whether I'm playing, I'm just watching, whatever. Certainly going to be there. So I think that's enough for our ETC coverage. We did a load of recording at the event. We're going to play that at the end of this episode. So we're going to go for a short break. We're going to come back and wrap up the episode. If you want to hear the ETC recordings, just hang on at the end. Free shipping to anywhere in the UK with all Odd Games purchases. www.oddgames.co.uk.
Hey dudes, just want to take a minute to tell you about the next big thing in wargaming. Rankings HQ is the new home for not only rankings across all game systems, but the latest social networking site for gamers around the world, including articles, image galleries, and heaps more. Create an account, track your personal progress, and compare results amongst friends and other gamers worldwide. Think you're the best gamer in town? Prove it at rankingshq.com. Join today.
Okay, so that's episode 44, just about done and dusted, other than our bonus content at the end of the show. Quick shout out to our sponsors again, just say thanks to Rankings HQ, Unseen Lurker, Back to Basics, and Odd Games. Thanks for supporting us in all our podcasting shenanigans.
Yep.
Anything else you want to give a shout out to?
To the dude I met at the ETC. I think he was Swedish. I think his name might have been Dave, but I'm not sure.
Swedish Dave.
Swedish Dave, I'm not sure. He gave me a handful of skirmishing movement trays for 8th edition.
Oh, yeah.
I gave him a business card and said, contact us, because he's selling them. Got an online store, he wants to sell them. I says, we'll give him a plug. So far, I've not heard anything.
Okay.
And I tell you what, the amount of people at the weekend that were mega impressed by them, there's a lot of interest out there. You make a lot of money.
Yeah, I bet
so. Get in touch with us, dude.
So I want to say thanks to all the guys at the ETC who came over and said hello and said they listened to the show. People from all different countries all around the world. I will say really thanks for listening and all that.
Quite humbling, really.
Yeah, I know.
Almost.
I know. It really, almost. Okay, so anything else you want to give a shout out to?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, I've got a thank you to say.
Oh, go on then.
And the guy's name is John Matthews. He works for Battlefront, of all people. He's playing for Team New Zealand at the ETC. And he's given me a Battle Foam Flames of War bag. The Battle Foam, for those that don't know, make figure cases. And Andrew Gleer had a Privateer Press one. He had the War Machine version of it, which is specially designed to fit all your War Machine stuff. But he'd stuffed in it his 2,500 point Orc Army, his War Machine Signar, all his books and dice and crap like that. And I was really impressed with it. I was looking at it, having a poke around it, and John says
it's also designed as well to fit into an airplane's hand luggage.
Yeah, if you can take it on as hand luggage, or it's solid enough so you could check it and you could put it in as baggage, and it won't get beaten. Shouldn't get beaten up too much, but I don't know. I wouldn't be too sure on that.
No,
I mean,
I wouldn't either.
To be fair, I wouldn't do it with a Games Workshop one either, and that's a hard case.
I wouldn't. I'd put it in a suitcase. I wouldn't check it at the gate.
But this Battle Foam one, which the guy from the Flames of War sent to me, it's the Flames of War branded one.
Yep.
So it comes pre-cut with foam to fit your tanks and stuff in. So I think a couple of the trays I won't be able to use because for the Flames of War.
They've got the small infantry ones, haven't they? Yeah.
But the ones with the tank are going to be ideal for the cavalry.
Yeah.
And he sent it me for. He just says, "I'll send you one. You can have it." And so big thanks to John. I really appreciate it. It turned up tonight.
Can I have one?
It turned up tonight, so I'm going to have a good play with that. I've had a quick poke around, brought it with us tonight.
We have, haven't we?
Loads of little pockets. And what I'm thinking is I don't need my geek bag anymore. As much as I love my geek bag, this thing's got loads of pockets for just to stick books and stuff in. It's got little pockets for dice. It's just all sorts of pockets all over it. So I'm rather impressed with it.
I'm going to have a look at trying to get a Bad Dice branded one.
I think cool. We're going to have to give Romeo over at Battle Foam a call and see how much it's going to cost us to get some Bad Dice branded ones, because I've seen them and I know they're obviously going to be good because these guys, they know what they're doing. They're selling a lot of them. They're going to be good. I didn't think it'd be as good as it actually is.
Did you see the one that Marcelo had?
No.
It was like it was the size of an old woman's shopping cart.
Yep.
It was like that.
And it had wheels on the bottom.
Had wheels on the bottom.
That was a Battle Foam one.
Pulls up. I'm pretty sure it was a Battle Foam one.
Yeah.
Again, all the foam cut to fit his Lizardman army, which was beautiful. All cut out, absolutely superb. I mean, must have cost me a few quid because I've never seen one that big before. It was enormous. But yeah, it was a good piece of kit.
Yeah. So if you want to see the bag that I've got, you can find it on the Flames of War website. Yep. Is it flamesofwar.com?
Yes.
And you can also find it at battlefront.com. And you have to search for the Flames of War bag, and you can see it on there. You can also find the other Battle Foam products over at battlefoam.com. Check them out. And also, they've just bought out 40k Radio, so give them a listen. The latest 40k Radio should be up today. So the 15th today, is it 16th today? So yeah, the latest one should have gone up. So yeah, give that a listen as well. So I think that's it for another episode. So again, thanks to all the guys that came and saw us at the ETC. Yeah. Get your dice. We've nearly sold out of dice.
Yeah.
We
sold a lot over the weekend.
Had 500, and I think we've not got any left. We might have about 20, 20 or 30 left.
Yeah, something like that.
I think you brought about 50 or 60 from Maelstrom, and I think 20 or 30 of them are already sold, so not many left. I'll stick actual numbers up on the Bad Dice site, so the last ones can be sold. I think we're going to order some more because they've been really popular. Going to be a bit more expensive next time now, I think, because
Maybe a different colour.
they've maybe a different colour. But yeah, not as cheap as they were this first run, because I ordered a big bulk of them I got them at a cheaper price because I ordered a lot, but still going to be a good price, so check them out on the website. All the normal stuff, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, you can find us, just go on the baddice.co.uk, see all the links on there. All be in the show notes. So that's another episode done. And yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you later, chaps.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by Ben and Ben Productions. If you actually enjoyed the show and feel the need to tell other people about it, you can leave a positive review on iTunes. You can contact both your hosts at thebens@baddice.co.uk, or you can contact us individually on Ben Curry at baddice.co.uk or Ben Johnson at baddice.co.uk. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Bad Dice Podcast.